All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Dr. Jaws here, and it's the holiday special. Tonight, we have a special guest joining us, and we're going to meet her in just a second. Hey, Howard, what's up? Good evening to you, too. I just want to take a minute to celebrate. Thank you so much for your art, and it looks like a Christmas card, which is super cool. But when I got that in my inbox, I was just blown away. I really wasn't expecting this like this kind of piece, but I love just everything you did with it. So thank you so much. And I'm excited that most of this night is going to be shark art throughout the entirety of the year. What's really cool is you, especially Howard, you've contributed so much to the stream. So most of it is actually going to be your art. We have submissions from other people, and we have a bunch of species to cover. So thank you so much for this card. I'm going to hop on over to Jess, and let's make sure. I think my screen is good. So, Jess, welcome back. It's good to see you.
Hey, happy to be back. Good to see you too. Hi,
So,
everyone.
So if you guys remember, Jess was with us for the Tiger Shark stream, which was an awesome stream, and that was a really fun one. We had a lot of great interaction with everybody, and just lots of great questions, and that's an awesome species. I'm still blown away by Gallioceridae, like it being its own family. So
I know, they're so cool.
so hey, Mingus is on the stream. Welcome back. Howard says hi, Jess. So awesome,
Hi,
awesome.
Howard. Thanks for all the art. Can't wait to see it all.
And guys, can you hear us okay? Just let me know in the comments as well. So, we made a PowerPoint presentation of all the art arranged taxonomically, and this thing is massive. It is a huge presentation. So Jess and I are going to like go through it and talk about all the sharks. We'll do the best that we can, but it's going to be a nonstop train. It's automatically playing. Okay, awesome. Everything sounds good. Okay, viewers can hear us. So yeah, I'm so excited. So
Yeah, I think it's also worth mentioning I haven't seen a majority of these pieces too. So a lot of these I'm just going to be reacting to from the get-go, which I'm really excited for.
oh my gosh. Oh, Duckless Bane is on. What's up? What's up? Welcome back. So yeah, Jess, you and I are both wearing marine life holiday garb. I've got
Yes.
sharks singing carols. And
Yes, and wonderful. And I have my tropical snorkel Christmas sweater featuring Santa going on a dive. He's actually doing something you shouldn't do, which is touching a turtle, but we'll just ignore that because he's Santa. Um, so yeah, this was my great aunt Carol's, and she gave it to me. I was really happy about it.
oh, that's all. Is it handmade?
Um, Probably I don't. She didn't make it. She loves ocean stuff. And it was one of those things where my cousin wanted it, and my aunt looked at me and her, and she's like, she's the shark girl. Like you're a nurse. She's gonna get the sweater, and I was like, yes.
Awesome. Howard
Yeah.
says nice. So awesome. Yeah, we've got international approval. So hey, Roll Roy,
Yeah.
what's up? Welcome back, man. Oh man, we got everybody here for the holiday special. This is awesome. So, but
Welcome.
so how have you been, Jess? Any new adventures since we last talked about tiger sharks?
Yeah, actually, I moved. I was living in Texas, and now I moved to Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
I started a new job in my field, so that was really
Ooh,
exciting.
very
I
cool.
do data validation now, so it's not in the water because Pennsylvania does not have an ocean, and I'm not near the Great Lakes. But lots of just science all day. It's environmental work, so it's really fulfilling, and I'm learning lots of new things and being challenged every day for sure. So that's been good.
Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
The nice thing is you're not too far away though from there's some pretty cool diving opportunities they're not famous, but New York has a couple interesting dive sites.
Really?
Yeah, there's an operate. What's it called? What is it called? It's they're very popular on YouTube. It's a
Oh, okay.
shoot. I have to send that to you if I can't remember it. It's Squalus Marine. Yeah, it's like a shark. Squalus Marine.
Oh,
So
nice. How fitting.
so they're pretty
That's really
cool.
funny. I will say last year, 2 years ago, I dove in Pennsylvania, um,
Oh.
in November.
Oh my God. Wait, where?
It was in it's called Dutch Springs, and it's just like a training facility pretty much.
Oh.
And my best friend, she was getting certified because we were going to the Galapagos together. And I told her, I was like, I'm gonna ditch you to go diving, at least for a day. Like I can't not. And she was like, yeah, no, that makes sense. And then I made sure she knew I was serious. And she's like, what if I just learned and also got certified? I was like, let's go. So she's from Pennsylvania as well, and I decided to go with her for her certification dive, and it was so cold.
Man, I can't imagine. Was it Pad?
Yeah.
Was it Patty or SSI or like?
Oh, good question. I think she's also Patty.
Hmm.
I'm Patty,
Oh,
and
awesome.
I have one. I have one other. I think my nitrox is not Patty.
I didn't know you were a nitrox diver.
I just got. Yeah, I got it before I dove the flower gardens
Oh my God. Oh wow. Okay, so
because I was like, I wanted to get the most out of the flower gardens.
all right, so many questions. Okay, so firstly, just so people for people who may not know, what is nitrox
Yes.
diving?
So, oh gosh, I passed the test for sure. It's basically so when you're diving, you're obviously using like synthetic canned air in a tank, and it has a certain blend of oxygen, nitrogen, and different gases that we breathe in our like normal everyday air. Um, and it comes with some like side effects, basically. From what I understand, it's like pretty equivalent to the natural air that we breathe.
Hmm.
And with that, you get like nitrogen that builds up in your body, and that's how you get like what's called the bends, and you get really tired after you dive, and you have to take what's called a surface interval. And so that's like a longer period of just staying up between your dives so that you don't get sick.
Hmm.
With nitrox, it has more oxygen
Hmm.
content, if I remember correctly. And there's 32%, there's higher percentages, you know, that you can get because with each like with every oxygen molecule that you add kind of comes at a different type of risk factor. So the benefits of nitrox is you have shorter surface intervals and longer dive times
Hmm.
at deeper depths.
Ooh.
So you're just kind of like maximizing everything to it's really good if you're like a scuba instructor or if you're doing multiple dives in a day, which for the the Texas Flower Gardens, it was like 5 dives in one day.
Oh my gosh.
So you
Wow.
really want the like turnaround. It was a lot.
Oh my gosh. And when did you go to? Because like Texas Flower Gardens, that is a national marine sanctuary, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So.
Yeah, I should say it's more so like the Gulf of Mexico.
Mhm.
It's within the whole Gulf. I can't remember all the exact statistics, but yeah, it's the closest marine sanctuary to like the U.S. waters, if I'm correct. It's large, and where I was from, we were 115 miles offshore,
Hmm.
so you had to do like an overnight trip out on the water to like do this experience.
That's awesome.
Um, it's so cool, and there's like so many different reefs. There's and the what's cool is you get like these these reefs that are fairly healthy compared to different reefs that you have, and then they have like an oil rig, an abandoned oil rig that you can dive off of, and I
Hmm.
had never dove an oil rig, and I heard really good things about them. And yeah, I think it was my favorite dive I've ever done. It was incredible. Plus, I saw a new shark species that I hadn't seen before.
Oh, which one?
I got to see silky sharks.
Oh, nice, nice.
They were so like just zippy and fun. Um, yeah, and then the last dive was like it looked like the crater of the moon. It was like just like really desolate almost, but there was different wildlife. Like I got to see a red snapper,
Oh, cool.
which like it's pretty regular for people who like eat fish, but seeing something like that. that you've seen in a fish market, like swimming, is just it's a different perspective and it's just interesting. Um, and then I got to see a hammerhead too. So
Nice, nice. Oh,
it was swimming away from me, and it was our last dive. So we did 7 dives that whole trip, and the goal was to see the migration of the hammerheads.
oh, that's awesome.
Um, right, but we were like right at the tail end of it, and like it's nature, they're animals, you can't expect anything. So like there was no like hard feelings, but in my dive, I was like, if I could just see one, just one. And what do you have it in like my last 10 minutes of the dive? I'm like kind of separated from my group in a way that I couldn't get their immediate attention to like tap on their shoulder, and they were like distracted by something else. And I look out and I just see it like swimming into the blue, like fading away. And I was like, oh my guys, and I'm like trying to get their attention, and they could not.
What we got some buzz in the chat, by the way. So
Yeah,
what kind of hammerhead? Do you know which species?
that's the sad part. I didn't get to know
It
because I saw the back and it was like this big. Um, I could guess, but I mean, they see, great scalloped and like smooth hammerheads out there, so it could have been any one of those.
and then
So unfortunately, I don't know.
Min just asked a question too that it's a good question because like I actually don't know the origin of this. Why are silky sharks called silky sharks? Like what's the origin of their name? Because
I I don't know because sharks aren't smooth. Um, but what's funny, what the only thing I can provide to this conversation is their scientific name. Do you know it?
Carcharodontis falciformis.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Um, and whenever my friends and I were studying for our like exams, I'm really good with like analogies or like, if you can laugh about it, you're probably going to remember it more. So we would pronounce it as Carcharodontis falciformis, and I'd be like, that's false. You're not silky. And it's really dumb. It's a really dumb joke, but I passed my final because of it. So,
Nice.
if it works, it works.
It works. Was it? Yeah, that's called like I forget the name. There's like a formal name for that, but I totally got you on that. Like,
Yeah.
I did the same thing with like this sounds so dumb, but like Shakespeare, like whenever it's like spell Shakespeare, I'm like, oh god, shaky speary. Like that's what I would say.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, there's just that's funny. That's a good one. I am gonna write down to look up the origin of silky sharks though, because I want to know.
Me too. Yeah, and they're a unique species. Like they're
They are.
yeah, their dorsal fin is kind of far back on the body, kind of small. I think sometimes from a distance people confuse them with dusky sharks because they do have a weird arrangement, like their fin versus like their like where the dorsal fin is in relation to the pectoral fin. It's just like yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that is the only like 9 out of 10 times I will ID them wrong. It was the only question I got wrong on my Shark ID final.
Yeah.
And it bothers me to this day. So it was nice having a good memory associated with seeing them versus just hearing their name and being like, "Ugh."
Oh my gosh. Roy says, if you guys ever find a new shark species, call it Shaky Speary. Um,
I love that.
Sir Douglas Bay. Oh, this is a cool slide, by the way. I'm sorry we've been neglecting
Ooh,
this.
yeah, sorry, we've been really chatty. I
So
love the contrast.
me too. And this species, gulper shark, super cool. It's like I don't know if I told you the story, but I was gifted a jaw set from a marine lab of a gulper shark. It's
I
like
gave what?
yeah, I know. It's just because they did not have ID on it. And so
Oh,
like they were like, well, we can't use this. Do you want this? And it's like it's so rare. And I was like, thank
that's
you.
so cool.
And I lost it. I know it's the worst thing ever. And it wasn't like neglect. It was kind of more like I think I had because like I was cleaning the jaws, and I had them in
Uh-huh.
like a plastic bag. And I think I was visiting family, and the plastic bag I just put it in the wrong spot where they thought it was trash. And so, like, it just kills me because it's such a
So
rare,
sad.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's such a, whenever I move with, I have one shark jaw.
oh,
Yeah. I and I need you to look at it again because I don't remember the species. But it's like some, like mid-sized, that kind of guy.
mm,
But my dad gave it to me and he like I had it hanging in my childhood bedroom for forever. Because not my dad was like the reason I got into sharks.
I
So like
did.
he's who inspired me.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to be a marine biologist and he loved sharks. And so he had all these shark books and he would collect like newspaper clippings of like shark attacks. And of course, like Jaws, he loved Jaws.
Mm,
And he grew up in like the wildwood beaches. So, like, just lots of ocean inspiration. So he kind of like, put that onto me. He's also a fisherman. So, like, we would catch sharks and he would show me them. So I got to see them not being these like terrifying things. Um, and like I remember being a kid sitting in our library and with a shark book open, and I was like, I want to help people understand that these aren't scary. He's like, so you want to be a marine biologist? And I was like, yep. And from that day forward, that's what it's been.
that's awesome.
Um,
Roy,
so yeah,
I was just gonna say, Roy commented, "Coolest dad ever." So,
I know he's a good one. We love him. He's really fun. I'm very thankful. And I remember going back to like the tiger shark episode when I sent him the picture of me with the tiger shark. He was like, "That's all I needed. Like I'm good now."
oh,
I was like, it was really sweet. So I
cheers,
love making him proud.
cheers to that. Happy holidays.
Honestly,
Oh my gosh. So you have.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna make a dumb comment about our drinks. I think we both have special versions of our cocoa and eggnog. So, oh, this was cool.
Yes.
This one was really cool.
Okay,
So,
you were telling me about this. I want a little bit more information.
so the next couple slides, they're gonna be like these images, but closer. So we did like a viper dogfish, like shark art contest,
Oh,
and so
okay.
and like the theme was like, okay, guys, like mix the viper dogfish is just uniquely weird. It has enormous fang-like teeth, and like,
Mm-hmm.
we were like, mix a sci-fi theme with this shark. It was like the contest. So we had
Yes.
three submissions. So and we'll get to see each one more closely. But I made like a composite image with like the actual viper dogfish in the background.
Oh, I
Um,
see that now. Okay, I
yeah.
was wondering. Wow, the second you said that, it just like loaded in.
So, but
That's really cool.
I'm excited. Each artist had something different. So this is Howard Care, Anya Volution, and Royal Roy. Like they each had something like different as far as like their art. So I'm excited to see it as we get into it.
Yeah, everyone's take is so like
Yep.
unique and really cool.
I think Howard has like a UFO sunken on the seafloor. Roy
Oh my
Roy,
gosh, he does. I didn't even notice that.
yeah, Roy Roy's.
Royal, I really like their line work. It's really clean.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like this. I love it's like a xenomorph, but like with the projecting dogfish jaws. So I think
Yes, and like the drool on the teeth on the like right side middle image is so it's like viscous it's perfect.
yeah.
Perfect details.
Yeah, I think Anya had like a Venom. Like I haven't seen the Venom movie. Have you seen Venom?
I haven't either. I want to, but I've heard mixed things. But I got the Venom, like comic book cover energy of it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he was like Venom was one of my favorite villains. Like,
Oh, yeah, I agree because like I like Spider-Man.
mhm.
He's my favorite. And so like because he like meshes into the universe, right? That's This
Yeah.
is me like totally thinking.
Oh,
But
you're good.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's like part of that. So I always like loved the concept, but just never looked into it more beyond just like seeing that he existed and looked cool.
Have you ever seen this is it's I think it's the same universe technically, but like
Uh,
Morbius. Have you ever seen Morbius?
no, but I know of it, him, them.
Yeah. I think we're
Uh,
Yeah, my family and I, or my brothers and I, watched it one time, like because it had to be Morbin time, and it was like, yeah,
Mm.
it's very bad. So, like,
Oh, yay.
but so yeah, this looks awesome. Like,
Okay, so a spine comes up on the dorsal fin.
mhm.
Oh, that's awesome.
What I especially love about this, and like, oh my gosh, I love this. Roy Roy says it's Morbin time, and then like his art just popped up, which I love the timing of
Yes,
that.
so good.
Roy Roy also
Oh, they
asked,
even have the Latin name up there too.
oh right, yeah, Trigonanathus cabii. So very
Yeah,
cool.
that's
Roy
awesome.
Roy Roy asked if we've played Spider-Man 2 yet, which I haven't. I saw.
Yes.
Oh, you have.
Okay, so, well, actually, I should say my partner, he's played Spider-Man 2, but I have been working through the Miles Morales version.
Oh, cool. Because like he's Spider Verse, right? Like,
Yes,
okay,
yeah, he's the center of the Spider-Verse. But he's always really fun because he's like graffiti artist Spider-Man, and he like even in the Spider-Verse he has like the POW and the comic book thing. So that happens as you're fighting in the game.
oh, this is awesome.
And it was made for the PS5, so it's gorgeous.
Oh my god,
Gorgeous game.
this is so cool.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, I just saw like a clip of I guess some guy like acing like the web slinging on YouTube, where it's like, because is it very hard to, like he was like plowing through like buildings, and like is it very hard to kind of get the timing right, or like.
Kind of. There's different ways to approach it. Because you can like hold the web button basically, and it'll like and just like jump and it'll kind of redirect you, or you can be a little bit more creative. The thing that I know that like took more style is as you're falling, you can like pose and like get different points, and like the more airtime you have, the more like points you get, and HP and whatnot. And that's harder to coordinate because sometimes I'll be like, going ham, and then I just like smack into a building and like, oh, all right, whoops. But it's really fun as a game too because like you obviously have like high combat points, where it's just like crazy action packed, but then you leave and you can just like, web sling around the city for like 10 minutes and not do anything else, and it's really really cozy.
Sounds awesome. It's like, it sounds like this might sound weird, but like GTA Spider-Man, because it's like
Hmm.
I would drive my family nuts because like when we play GTA, I genuinely like, like hiking, or going in the sub, and they're like, this is
Yes,
not what the game is about. Like, you have
I
to.
was the same way. I was like, I just want to drive normally, like legally. Did you see that the Florida version is coming out?
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer. Like,
Yeah,
so it
it looks
looks
so funny.
pretty crazy, and like, what a setting too. Because like, I think, yeah, I lived in Florida, right, for a little bit. Like, oh, did I tell you
I
that?
don't, I don't know.
I lived in
I don't think
Florida.
I was this after undergrad?
Yeah, this was after undergrad. This
Okay.
was 2018. I was there for a year, which was cool. I mean, it was
Yeah.
lot of great opportunities to like meet shark people and do shark. They had Shark Con there, which is fun.
Oh, yes. Yep.
But I miss the seasons, like, and like the change of seasons. So that was the thing where it's like, yeah.
I was so excited to be cold when I got up here. I also really like how Anya did the eye here.
Same.
It was very like monochromatic, really well done.
And it captures like, it's like that nice balance of like, because like that species, it kind of has like these large, like kind of bulging eyes, and it's like, I feel
Yeah,
like she got the texture really really well with it.
I 100% agree. It's very convincing to like you feel like there is something behind the eye and it's not just like a glass eye.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's depth, which is it's great. The shading's awesome.
I love that with sharks especially, because I feel like all shark species have gorgeous eyes. And like
Hmm.
if you can nail that in art, it's like you got it as far as just like
Yeah.
it's
You're like giving the soul to the piece.
so I told my friend by way about were you it was gouache paint or is it
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
no very cool it's very cool I had never heard of it before but like
I um for context, we were comparing different paint mediums. And I was telling Zach how I use watercolor mostly, but I just started using something called acrylic gouache. And it's like the perfect mixture of watercolors and acrylic paints. So if you find yourself getting frustrated with one or the other, just try that one and see how it goes. Um,
yeah I have to give that a shot because like for watercolor because I like more like richness of color like
yes.
I love the ease of watercolor but like I do like things like kind of popping a little bit more so
Hmm.
although it's been a hot minute since I painted something so I should
Oh, you got to get back to it.
yeah, for sure. Like the at the top of the stream, that like crazy red like hieroglyphic looking art was that was like an early piece I did a long time ago. So, but yeah, I gotta get back.
What medium do you use? Like, what did you make that one with?
Oh, I think I layered a lot of because most of that was like pastels, but I think
Okay.
I did a weird mix. Like it would like I would like paint over it and like it's like I think I did like a pastel base. I think I might
Okay.
even did some like Sharpie work, which sounds weird, but like for like the actual
Ooh.
lines, and then like I would do
Yeah.
watercolor over
Yep.
it, you know. So,
I
but
like it.
you know, this is cool. I love
I know it's so fun.
yeah the projecting jaws on these like
Yes. And like the multi-species food chain actively happening. And
so
then is that a gulper eel in the background, Howard? Or is it a different kind of
I
animal?
think it is. I'll keep an
Yeah,
eye.
like the mouth. I didn't know. I don't know much about like their physiology beyond it.
Oh shoot, we learned something really cool on one of the streams about and yes, Howard said yes. So
Nice.
also, Sir Douglas Bain commented, "Florida is indeed crazy," like, which I
Perfect
appreciate.
for GTA.
Perfect for GTA. So I will say, because like I feel like in pop culture, Florida is very easy to make fun of for a lot of reasons,
Yes.
but they do like coastal Florida where I lived. I really appreciated the attention to. They were very good about like do not have plastic straws. Like be
Mm-hmm.
mindful of like do not disturb nests. Do not like. They were very. I have to say that and I've never really seen that in many other or like in other states. I've never seen as much attention to at least for coastal Florida. I haven't seen as much attention. So.
Yeah, it's really nice, and I found it more in like coastal towns. Like Texas was Texas when I lived there, but I was coastal as well, and some of the coastal bend like beautiful wetlands. It's not what is advertised when people talk about Texas in most cases, but like people were really respectful of their wildlife and the wetlands, and it was a lot of like land preservation.
Mm.
Um, and just got to see the like beauty of the world, like driving along all the bridges and getting to see just like true wetlands was so cool. Uh, and it was like my drive to work every day, and I'm like, now I just see, well, there's trees. There's more trees in Pennsylvania, and I missed them.
Howard made a great comment. The fossil crowd in Florida are great. So, yeah.
Mm,
Uh,
okay, I'm more familiar with like the Carolina fossil people, so I don't have much experience, but that's good to know.
Venice Beach, which is I think it was about like 45 minutes south of me. Yeah, that.
Yes, I love Venice Beach. You might have, okay, wait, did you tell me to go there? Because I went there based on
Oh,
someone's recommend. Maybe you did.
that might have been me. That sounds like a me
You
thing.
probably did.
I think
But I
that's
when I
me.
went when we went, I was with my mom and I don't know, oh, we were going to see a concert. So we were not packed for the beach. And I was like, oh yeah, we'll just like walk along and like walk in the waves. We'll like roll our pants up. And this was back, it was in like the like, I don't know, 2018 or no, because I was in college then,
Hmm.
mid 2010s. So I had like the skinny jeans on. And in Venice, it's not picking them up from the surf. You have to like go in the water with like sifters.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And my shout out to my mom. We're hitting both parents tonight. She got in the water with me, like in her clothes, um, and sifted with me, and we found
Oh,
them.
that's cool.
Um,
That's
it was really cool, and I had, little treasures to bring home.
nice. Sometimes you
Oh,
got.
I go ahead.
Oh
Sorry,
no, no, you go.
I
You
got
go for it.
distracted.
I think you were gonna talk about this painting.
I was, yeah. You can see the ampullae of Lorenzini on it, and it's just like so well done.
Ooh, Sir Douglas asked an interesting question. Did you ever visit Sharktooth Beach? Was that? I'm not familiar with that site. Like in Florida.
Yeah, where's that at?
Yeah, it's funny. There's in Virginia. There's a. This is not on the map, but there is like a Sharktooth Island in York River, and it's a specific spot like off the Parkway, where it literally is like it's this little sand spit, and it's actually kind of near like a military base, so you got to be careful. You can't get too close to it, but like you are allowed to get to the
Oh,
sand spit, and like
okay, okay.
yeah,
I was say I was down until
yeah.
that, but
But yeah, it's like covered in teeth. I've actually in that area. I pulled a prehistoric white shark tooth, which is crazy. It's oh shoot, it was Carcadon. Um, oh my gosh, what is it? It's not. I don't think it's Plicatillus. There's a prehistoric white shark called Carcadon plicatillus, but there's another one
oh wow.
that is called. I think it begins with an L. And actually, Howard might know. But Min just made a good comment. A plus in being a mom for your mom helping you sift shark teeth.
I
So
know, such a good mom. Cheers to mom.
oh, Howard said Sharktooth Hill in California is a big spot. Sir Douglas
Ooh,
says west coast of Florida. Okay, so that was that's near right because I was in Tampa. So yeah,
okay.
I have not been Sir Douglas. I have not been to Sharktooth Beach. Next time I'm in the area, I should check it out. So oh,
Yeah.
Roy made a comment. Narrow great white shark. I think Roy's right. The English name for the prehistoric white shark I pulled is I think it is the narrow white shark, but I forget the
Oh,
Latin name for
cool.
it.
Yeah, I'm so bad with the prehistoric species.
Like
The
I
frog shark.
oh this is cool. So this one is actually a cousin. It's a sleeper shark. It's like a small
Yeah,
like Greenland shark cousin. So
it's so cute. Is that is that saying it has like the like a bioluminescent
mm-hmm.
factor to it
Yep.
on its belly?
Yep.
Okay.
So it has I think those are photophores, right? Like if it emits light, it's a photophore.
Yes.
Yeah, because it does like emit
Yeah.
light, which is like it's such a strange. It's like we're so used to like dragonfish and I can't think of the other ones right now, but like like bony fish being light emitting fish, and it's like it took me a second to like realize like sharks can do this too, and it's like that's
I know.
crazy.
And it like I don't know. It's just funny to think that like, because sharks are the like earlier version and then the bony, like the split off happened, but it's just it's so weird to think about sometimes that like they have these pretty advanced things because a lot of people don't give them credit
Hmm.
where credit is due. But they like I don't want to go on my shark milk rant again, but they can make milk, you know?
Yeah, no,
It's
please,
wild.
please do, because it's like we were talking. I think it was two streams ago. We were talking about just how crazy the reproductive modes are. Where it's like, so sharks are like a group of like all these different orders, but it's like a super order. Yet you have these
Hmm.
such different reproductive modes. Like you could like sharks lay eggs. Sharks lay eggs that hatch inside the mother, then give birth, and then sharks give live birth and have a placenta. And it's just like it's crazy. Like how
Yeah.
diverse it
There's
is.
like there's like 9 modes that you can describe in just like elasmobranchs in general.
Oh.
And I'm
Oh.
like, I couldn't even explain like 9 modes of reproduction outside of sharks. I don't think. You know,
I don't think I could either. Like,
like I'm like egg and live birth, like and a pouch,
yeah.
like marsupials. Like that's kind of where and then I'm like, oh, but they can do that and that. Like it's wild. And I just went to a talk by a shark scientist outside of the University of Delaware.
Oh, cool.
And he was just kind of, doing like general overview of what he did and studied. But he was talking about how they just made some breakthroughs with how they think the great whites reproduce or like mature and develop.
Oh.
Um,
Like what
yeah,
specifically?
they found like a juvenile or I guess a prenatal great white shark, and it had like an egg casing, or it's like its yolk sac or something.
Hmm.
And please look this up and don't take my word for it because this is obviously not correctly remembered. Um, but it was something that's it's similar to how sand tiger sharks will have like they'll eat the eggs that don't develop before them, and then
Hmm.
it's like kind of two pups in each uterus. But this, if I remember correctly, it was something about like the eggs will drop, and then the shark pups will start developing, and then the mom will deposit more eggs, but it's like almost with the intention that she like knows that the shark pup is going to eat them. Like it's specifically made to be like a fuel for the single pup that's already developing in there.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
wild.
it was really interesting. And again, don't quote me on that. But that's what I remember. And that was a couple months ago. So,
You know what's kind
uh,
of like related to that, because like we learned a lot of things this year on the stream, and one of them for me personally was just like I didn't realize how widespread intrauterine cannibalism or versions of that were in the lamniforms. I thought that was like
yeah,
just sand tigers, but apparently like pretty much any lambda or most lambda kind of does that. So
that's
or
fair. Yeah,
a
I
version of
didn't.
that.
Yeah, I feel like but like the people who make, shark content, especially from like when we were younger,
Hmm.
it's like the same, 10 shark facts and the
Hmm.
same like 7 species. So it's like, oh yeah, like I know sand tigers do that. So it feels like this like unique and notable thing when it's like, oh, there's so many more that exist.
Yeah. I feel like we should do a blitz of like the 10 obvious shark facts that people do. Like, like, did you know that white sharks breach out of the water? Or like,
What we should do like a bingo card
oh,
of
that'd
like
actually be
the
fun.
common ones and then like watch something and then see who gets like bingo first.
That'd
That'd
be
be really
fun.
funny.
That would be fun. Like to do with Shark Week. I would also like basically blow the bridge of any kind of shark sponsorship with them. But like, oh
It's
well.
fine. I know people who are critical of Shark Week who get Shark Week packages still.
Oh,
So
okay,
there's hope. They
okay.
know.
Okay, so let's definitely do Shark Week bingo because like that, like the other one, oh man, the ones that drive me nuts are like sharks are misunderstood. Kind of drives me nuts a little bit because it's just like I feel like it's just decades of this and like like literally that phrase like sharks are misunderstood, which is a good message, but it's just like also like they need help as far as like
Yeah.
let's talk about fishing, let's talk about habitat loss, let's talk about other things like I get kind of personally irritated when I keep hearing they're misunderstood and if we understand them more, like I don't
I
know,
was gonna
like
say, like at one point, like I mean, you're never gonna know everything about something because there's always something to learn. But like
mhm.
we could start saying they're just misrepresented because
Ooh.
we do know we know that we understand we know that they're like not awful. So we can start just representing them better. Someone knows.
Also,
Oh, the shark.
yes. So I don't think I ever told you this. This one, I love all sharks. This one was the species that tested that for me, where So have you heard of this species before, or?
Yeah, with the it like
Yeah,
right.
like the pockets that emit the.
It's got like
Yeah,
a gland, not a gland, but a fold.
yeah, yeah. It just like I like when we did our stream, like I made peace with it, and I accepted
Oh,
it for what it was. But like it just there was
wait, what's
something.
your beef?
My beef with like when I first saw it, and I first saw like the pockets, I just kind of had this like what is the fear of like hole like patterns of holes? Is that
Oh,
trypophobia? Like I had like some.
yeah.
It was something similar. It was like it was such a weird feature, and
Oh,
it
I
was
haven't.
like
Oh,
I know. I was like, I love all sharks. I love you, pocket shark. But like, oh, this is so weird. This is so weird.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. There's an animal that I would say I have a mild phobia of, and it makes me sad that it exists. Um, Not that the animal exists, but that like the phobia within me exists.
Hmm.
But I just can't. I can't. Like I hate them.
What is it? What is it?
It's an orangutan. I can't.
Oh.
They're borderline terrifying, depending on like what type of orangutan it is. Like, I've read the name of the animal on a test question before and got like shivers down my spine because I wasn't
Really?
expecting. Like, yeah,
So
not a fan.
that's
They're so
fascinating
creepy.
because they're like the gentlest ape. Like
I
they
know.
are like they're like the most peaceful one. That
They're
is.
terrible.
So what is it specifically?
They just like they creep me out. Like looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like there's the more like stereotypical ape-looking orangutan, which is
Mm-hmm.
like fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tolerate it. But if you stick me in front of one of those like or even just a picture, not even gonna like a picture of one of those ones with like the big like flat faces,
Yeah.
terrifying. I hate thinking about
Wow.
them. Like
Interesting. Interesting.
it's like the one animal I'm like, nope,
What?
mm-mm,
All right.
good.
So I'm so curious now. Okay. So thoughts on chimpanzees?
They're all right.
Uh,
Like,
gr-
Jane Goodall's great. I'm proud of her. Um, I'm, what's actually, again, what's funny, going back to like parent things, I never knew where this came from. And like a year or two ago, I'm with my dad, and I'm so thankful my partner was with me because he was like, yeah, I want to like, watch a nature movie. And we couldn't find an ocean documentary that we hadn't seen. So I was like, oh, Dad, here's this like life in nature one. He's like, mm-mm. He's like, I don't want to see like apes. It's just like they also creep him out, like orangutans and stuff. And I was like, maybe okay. Like he just doesn't like land ones as much. I don't know.
hmm
But it
I
was just really funny.
like I chimpanzees bother me behaviorally because it's like the only other animal that's known to make war. You know, which like
Mm.
really is
They,
bizarre. It's so strange to me. Where it's like,
I
damn,
didn't know they made war. I know they did like like
they
they've
did.
developed like economy and like have you heard about that study?
No, wait. Were you about to say what I thought you were about to say?
I think so.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
wait, okay, so we're both bringing two primate facts or ape facts to the table here.
okay.
You go first, because
So
I want to hear about war first.
I don't know in detail, but so chimpanzees can have different bands or tribes, and they will actually like, hold a grudge against the tribe and like compete for resources, and like I'm pretty sure I've heard that described as like making war, like it's like this
Oh,
conscious like
interesting.
coordinated effort
Yeah,
to,
like you're choosing to not be
hmm
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess because it's like it's inflicting on like another or the same
Oh,
species, kind of a thing.
oh, Sir Douglas
Does
made it.
someone?
Yeah, Sir Douglas made an interesting comment. Ants make war. I didn't know that either.
Oh,
Like that makes sense though. Like as far as like, because ants are
that's
like,
fair.
yeah,
Like going to other
sociologically.
like the colonies.
Yeah, it makes sense because
Oh,
like they're
okay.
sociologically
All right.
like. Oh, Howard made a comment. They're cannibalistic. I forgot about that. Chimpanzees are cannibalistic. Yeah, and it's like,
All right. You're unlocking new fears. This is great.
sorry, bonobos. Their close cousin are very nice. Bonobos are. They
Hmm.
they
No, and
yeah.
like I've seen baboons in person. Like they're fine.
Oh, like
They're
wild,
good.
wild ones?
Yeah, when I went to
Oh,
South Africa, there were like baboons everywhere. To the point where like people treated them like we would like rats, or like pigeons. Um, everywhere. And they like break into people's houses sometimes, so you have to have like special windows. Um, but like everyone there has a baboon story. And my poor friend, she was terrified of baboons. So we, of course, which I should be more empathetic about it because I have a very similar fear. But we definitely made her like look at baboons on the trip way more. We'd be like, "Oh, turn around," and I got her like a little baboon keychain. So it's some karma, but it's fine.
also, this species is really cool. By the way, this is the Bahamas saw shark.
I was looking at that. I have not. So is okay. Because from what I'm gathering with Howard's stuff is he does a very good job of giving us a full story of the species. So is this a shallow water saw shark? Like
Yep.
shallower? What?
So, and like, I'm blown away that it lives in the Atlantic slash Caribbean. Like, I'm blown away that,
Wait.
or I guess the Atlantic, because I think it's just been documented in the Bahamas. Let me look that up really quick. But like,
Okay.
but that blows me away because the saw sharks as an order, I thought they were all like Pacific species. So I'm blown away that
I was
there's.
gonna say I was never super familiar with them in like our kind of waters. And you have the southern stingray, which I love. Southern stingray they're close to my heart.
They're so cool. You know what? I've never seen one in the wild. Sadly enough, I've seen the Atlantic stingrays in the wild.
Yeah,
I almost jumped on some kind of stingray, which was like because I was in Florida.
terrifying.
Yeah, it was really like not a good idea. I was in Florida. I was having a wonderful day, and I was like, I'm gonna just leap into the mangroves, like when you like go snorkeling, you just kind of like want to like plunge in.
Hmm.
So I did
Hmm.
that, and then immediately out from under me was a stingray, just rocketing off into like it was, and I was like, oh no, that's not good. So
I had
uh,
a similar experience. We were diving and we were like, it was one of my, at the time, deepest dives that I had done. And one of the first times I was going like to 90 or so feet. Which like when you're diving, like your average dive is like between 30 and like 60 feet, you know? So 90, that's just like an it's a lot of extra depth. And it's darker and colder. Um, and we kind of got turned around a little bit. Like I was working our way back, but I wasn't, it was still that like I might be wrong and this could be really bad. So we were really focused and we're like hovering pretty close to the bottom. And then this just big ray, just like I had to like, like mom car seat my friend and it just like, and like lift it off. It was like a 6 or 7 foot ray, like including the tail length. It was like a big like rough back ray, I think. So it had these
oh,
feathers all
those are
over it. They were
cool.
so cool. Um, but it was not cool when it was just there all of a sudden.
That's awesome. And speaking of rays being cool, like so rays are cool, and like I feel slightly guilty that like they don't get. I have not met a lot of people really into rays. Have you met super into rays or?
Yeah, I go back and forth with like people's receptiveness because I feel like sharks out of, you know, the like elasmobranch and chondrichthyan realm, like they get the most action and excitement. But I will say I think the tide is turning for stingrays, like especially with like the whole like sea pancake kind of like PR that's happened for them. I think people are learning to love them more. And something I like learned along the way is like they're really intelligent.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Um,
I actually didn't.
like if I remember correctly, like the research about them is like they're pretty. They've got good wits about them. And so that gave me like a cooler. I was like, all right, I can give it to them. And they're just like the colorations you can see, like the way that they like move in and out of the water. Like I didn't. I have a painting I did of it's like a banded eagle ray, and it's got like these blue stripes. And I was just like, it's just beautiful. They're so pretty.
Oh my god. I love to see that sometime. Like, because like
Yeah, I'll
I
send it.
thank you. Like I get super excited. Like if I'm ever out in the wild and I see a ray, I do get that kind of like thrill, where it's like
Hmm.
it's like even though it's not a shark, it's just like you could just tell by their movement that they are like related, and it's like just there's
Hmm.
something about them that is just like, oh my gosh, this is like it's unlike any other fish. It's just they're beautiful. So, you know.
Yeah, I think what I love about sharks and rays a lot in their, and this doesn't go for all the times, especially the smaller you get in a species, but like there's just a confidence in the way that they swim,
I like that.
and it's just like it's very like it's quiet and it's just like smooth and chill versus like a fish is very like
Yeah.
and it's like um or a bony fish, I have to say. But
Yeah.
yeah, like when I was in the Bahamas with the southern stingrays, one of the reasons I love them so much is there was a big stingray. His name was Blanket, aptly named because he was just massive. And he would like swim over top of people sometimes, and you'd be completely covered. Like he was just they're just and the freshwater stingrays, they get like a little bit uncomfortably large for me. It's incredible, crazy.
Freshwater stingrays, are they I don't know much about them. Are they exclusive to South America, or are they also in Asia? Or
I think there's a good bit in I think Asia as well. Because I know like I feel like every couple of years we hear like a like world record breaking stingray caught in some, like South American or Asian like territory of some sort. And they're always just so many just like men holding it up. It's crazy. Oh god.
so,
They're so cute.
Roy made a comment. I want to hug blanket. Oh, Howard made the comment. Indonesia as well. Bob
Oh yes. Hmm.
Bobby is joining the chat. What's up, Bobby? Welcome to our stream. But yeah, so this shark, the Port Jackson shark, we had a lot of fun talking about this one. This was like I think in
Yeah.
the spring or summer, where like it's doing okay. It's least concerned, and part of it is like it's happily squished in its little reef, and like whenever fishermen catch it, they're like and they throw it back in. Like they're
Yeah.
like they're pretty they're not really caught up in bycatch that much, and yeah, I mean, like it was really, I think it was the first of quite a few sharks that we reviewed where it's like they're actually doing okay, which is a nice change of pace. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we don't have to be depressing for a second.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, yeah, like
Oh, they're beautiful. I also they're really just like shaped really funny too.
they're quite.
Like just the whole heterodontids, just that like bull head, which I think just makes them look like not shark-like for a lot of people.
I,
So and love them.
Same here. Like they're very like squishy and cute, like with the chubby cheeks, and like. But I also love like the bony crests. Like they all have those like those ridges, and as bizarre as it sounds, it makes me think of like a T Rex.
No, yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very just like I put it in the same box of it's like T-Rex, pit bull, like and like heterodontids. Like they just have like a square head. Do you know at all about like why that's advantageous or like where that comes from? Because I feel like I remember talking about it and it's gone.
I don't know actually. My only guess is they do have a unique jaw set as far as like just having like the strong crushing plates, and I'm kind of curious if
Hmm.
maybe that relates as far as like maybe the head
Yeah,
shape.
like the physics.
Yeah,
I could see that.
yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, their jaws is super impressive.
Oh, so I just saw. So Bobby said best weighted blanket. Just realized my typo because I saw an earlier comment saying beat weighted blanket, and I wasn't sure
Mm.
what. So
Careful now.
best weighted blanket. So awesome.
Yes, yeah. No, that would be perfect.
So um, oh
No,
shoot,
I'm here.
no, I'm a goofball. I made a. Oh, I'm sorry, Howard. I made that comment huge. Sorry about that. I
You're
misclicked.
good.
I'm like going back and forth between the comments, and like
Oh,
I'm
I
just
see.
making sure that. Oh man, we're actually kind of booking it. We're getting to the Orlectolobiformes, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this group.
We had quite a few submissions because I think this year I'm gonna say 2023 has been a big Lamniform year. Like if I had to pick an order, we've covered
Okay.
so many to the point where like I'm like oh boy, like we might have like exhausted like
Burned through a good bit.
yeah. The nice thing is we still have the Great White. We still have
Good.
a Mako left.
Okay.
We have quite a few Threshers left, so we've got some backup, so we can pace it out a little bit more for
Okay, that's good. That's
2024.
good.
But I'm excited when we get to their biodiversity because it's like, oh man, there's there's a lot of lamniforms tonight. So,
Yeah, that'll be fun to see.
do you have a favorite order? Out of curiosity.
Hmm. I don't think about. Okay. Yeah, I do. And I'm because order is ending with the formies,
Yep.
right? So I love hexancoforms.
Nice. Oh.
They they're just so cool, and their teeth like they're gorgeous. And there's something about like I have literally talked in my sleep about them.
Oh my gosh.
Um, like just praising them. So they just fascinate me. They're so cool. I think like the broad-nosed seven gill is gorgeous. It was one of I would say like when I did my or I'm still doing my uncommon Condricthian theme. I remember the broad-nosed seven gill was like one of the first ones I painted where I was like that I'm happy with that. Like I would make that painting just the way it is again.
Hmm.
Um, and like the six gills, I think it's like the big eye six gill. They're
Mm.
just massive.
Yeah. It's
They're so
and
giant.
I love that they live like in the dark, like just this
Yes.
giant thing like in like the midnight zone or the twilight zone. It's just like
Yeah, it's like, ooh, it's so spooky, but it's so cool. And I love there's a video of like a submersible that ran into like two or three six gills and they're just like trying to like gnaw the camera to like figure out what it is. So you can just see inside their whole oh, it's so cool. Love them. Yeah, so yep. What about you? Do you have a favorite order?
it's hard. It's so hard to pick. Like, cause like it's really hard to pick. If I had to answer, I'm gonna say Carcharodontiformes just because my favorite shark encounter was with a scalped hammerhead shark so far.
Ooh, okay.
So like, and a bonnethead shark. I had a really fun encounter with a bonnethead shark that was like,
Yeah, they're cute.
yeah. So like, I like their evolutionary history where they like radiated out, after, it's like they kind of displaced lamniforms and really exploded in biodiversity, which I think is really cool. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the true answer is like I honestly genuinely love all sharks, but like if I had to pick,
Pop out.
yeah,
I was gonna say
yeah.
I had to pick, so did you.
Yeah, so if I had to pick, it'll be Carcharodontiformes, just because it's the order of
Nice.
the hammerheads. A lot of the stuff I've done, I think over the years, has been pretty Carcharodontiform centric. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So,
The other, this is just going back to another thing that I love because I was thinking about like in the way that you love like the biodiversity and the explosion radiation of the Carcharodontiforms for the hexanchids, like they're so prehistoric that you can like see these like what is it? Like this just remaining traits of more prehistoric sharks. We don't
oh,
see a lot. Like
interesting.
if you think about it,
Like the missing
they
dorsal
only
fins.
have
Yeah.
yes. And it shows just how important the dorsal fin is for stabilization in the water column because they're so just like topsy-turvy when they swim. And it's just such a cool, I'm like, you're so silly. Like, just get another dorsal fin.
That's a good point. I never thought about that as far as like, just like them being all over the place. And it's like, I never thought about that. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
they don't have, they're just a tube, like they're just a big tube.
I'm gonna leave that in the chat. They're just a tube.
You heard it here first.
Jess Myers 2023. Awesome. So this. Oh, go ahead.
No, no, you're doing exactly what I was about to do.
So for this species, this is adorable. It might be a little subtle in the art, but like, see how it's standing on its pectoral fins? Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love the posture and like the way the tail's like perked up.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
Like, I forget why they do that, but like, I didn't know that that kind of bamboo sharks. I think epaulet sharks. I know or epaulet sharks walk, but I didn't realize they like stand up. Like.
Yeah, I'd never seen that kind of behavior before in that way. Um, and I kind of in the way that like the sand tiger shark gets all the credit. I think the epaulet shark gets all the credit for like walking, And there's other cat sharks that do it.
Hmm. So, I think we have an epaulet shark coming up, but one of my favorite things, I'm kind of like sharing with my girlfriend more about sharks, and like she made a comment about an epaulet shark where she's like, "Okay, I have to admit, it's very cute," and I'm like, "Oh, mission accomplished." I'm like,
That's all we need.
"Yeah, yeah." So, speaking of which, is this it? This is it. This
Yes.
is a
Oh,
species.
it's so good.
This is beautiful, Howard. Like this yeah, Howard Care. This is Michael's epaulet shark. So, which is kind
The
of a new
color.
species. Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you know if it's like do you know who it's named after? Like who Michael is? Do you know? I
Oh,
don't.
yeah, I forget which Michael it is. And like I
Okay.
actually I think we talked about on the stream, but I did not recognize the name. So, as far
Okay.
as the researcher goes.
I'll look into it. Or I'll tune into your episode.
Thank you. But
Uh,
I think this is one of my favorites of the year. Like this looks so good. Like
it's one of my favorite sharks, so I'm already like biased.
I,
But again, like going back to it, Howard, I have to give you such credit because when I do my art, I'm terrible at fully fleshing out the background. And not only do you do that every time, but you also make the background so informative. Like
oops.
I'm learning about these species just by that.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the chat. I accidentally, sorry, Roy. I posted a comment. Frill Shark, or Roy mentioned Phil Shark is the master of tubes, but
True. That's a good point.
you know, my thing, like when I keep hopping back and forth, I accidentally post comments. I'm sorry, guys. So, like, I swear it's not the special cocoa I have. It's just it's technology. So, oh, Howard said, "Thanks, Jess. I'm learning as I go." So, honestly, I mean,
You're doing great.
yeah, it's amazing. Like, just I love. I mean, again, most of the art is Howard's work, and it's just like it's so cool to see. Like, it's actually I've loved seeing like different pieces like have like improvement in different ways. Like this is one of them
Yeah.
where I love this piece a lot. Like, just yeah, just and like there's a Mako Shark one coming up that's like killer. So I'm super excited for that.
That's really cool.
Um, there we did. I think the last shark we did this year was last week was the leopard shark, and
Ooh.
there are places in California, and I guess like Baja California. I know actual like the state of California, but then also Baja California. We could just like snorkel with them, like just be in shallow water and just like it's clear enough. Can you imagine? And like hundreds of them. Like, can you imagine?
Oh, yes. It sounds so cool. Oh, I always like I haven't been in the water in like a hot minute because I'm landlocked right now and it's cold.
Hmm.
But whenever I see a shark in the water or like just some really cool animal, oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Hmm.
Um, got distracted.
Oh, you're good.
Um, I whenever I see that, I just like I turn into a sap. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just like thinking about hundreds of them and I'm just like, I would cry. I would actually cry.
So something cool about this species, by the way. So you know how zebra shark juveniles have black and white stripes? So
Hmm.
I had no idea this was a thing, but like, there's a theory that it's supposed to be or mimicking sea crates, like poisonous sea crates.
Oh,
Isn't that cool? Like,
that makes sense.
yeah, like
That's like yeah, because I know like big cats, like little lion cubs, look different because they're supposed to like blend into their environment and stuff,
mm,
and so it's like juvenile protection. That's so interesting.
right?
I just find it like the going from stripes to spots feels so on like a level of like how your cells know what to do. It's so interesting.
So why, I like with tiger sharks, why do they change are there theories in terms of like why they change their color pattern from like kind of like those distinct markings to like the bigger blotches and bars as they become adults?
I think, okay, this is not me going off of knowledge specifically to that question, but it's going to be me dissecting like what I do know about camouflage. So when you're tiny, right, you're more vulnerable. And the stripes and like spots, just in nature in general, like they break the point of them is to break up a silhouette.
Mm.
So whenever you see an animal with a lot of patterns, it's to like break up the shape in most cases, and like the, even a human example of like we wear camouflage, like people wear camouflage when they hunt, and it's always very patterned, even if it's really blotchy and doesn't look like actual leaves. Animals' vision, like you wouldn't see the splotches in the forest as well because it's just a lot of colors. But hunters will also wear a big, bright orange to be seen.
Mm.
So that's like the solid piece of it, right? So that's like to set aside. That's why I think like when you're smaller, you want stripes, things that'll help you like blend in. But as the tiger shark grows, it goes into more open water. And so you don't have as much of like you don't have a background to like break into. And so I think it's more advantageous for them to be just like counter shaded,
Mm. Gotcha.
you know, because they don't ambush when they're younger,
Oh,
So that's my theory.
interesting.
That's not a drawing. Tell me
Yeah,
about it.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so Connor, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I thought I deleted this photo. So, but this
You want me
was
to show 'em?
um we could, I mean, like, we could fast forward a little bit. So we had a Nurse Shark
Okay.
stream with our dear friend Dr. Connor McDonald. So this was our
Oh,
first guest stream. He's a buddy of mine. We went to William and Mary together. He does a lot
nice.
of cool work with seagrass. And actually, I could just plug his project. He's
Yeah, let's go.
does a lot of cool work with seagrass in Florida. He's actually working on a seagrass documentary, or like a
What?
pretty big film project. Actually, like he's been submitting
That's
to a lot
cool.
of different festivals and stuff. And like with his work, it's not shark focused, but like he does run into a lot of sharks that enter seagrass ecosystems, including the nurse shark. So
Nice.
we had the nurse shark stream, like when he was on, and like, I mean, I'm glad he's here because I mean it's a holiday special recapping the year. But I thought I deleted that, and I apologize because I thought I kept all the art, and so we could move on. But like,
Mm.
but Connor's a champion, so um,
Good to know. Good luck with your film, Connor.
so here is the tawny nurse shark, different species.
Okay,
So,
nice. Yes.
um,
Now, what for you are the like distinguishing characteristics that's gonna set you apart from like your typical to the tawny their shark?
Ooh, shoot. Great question. Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay, sorry. Like it's been a while, but it's the dorsal fins. So the
Okay.
two dorsal fins are actually larger. They're a little bit more
Mm,
distinct. They're a little bit more like falcate looking. Because like
okay.
the classic nurse shark is the both the dorsal and the pectoral fins are softer as far as their features go. Like they're more like rounded
Mm-hmm.
edges, a little broader. but the tawny nurse shark has more falcate fins. I don't know why
Okay.
that's the case. Like the biggest thing for me is that tawny nurse sharks like are Pacific species, and the classic nurse
Mm.
shark is an Atlantic species. So that's kind of like the
Okay. I
big.
never knew that.
No worries. Like that's the biggest the thing that distinguishes them in my mind. But
Yeah.
like I remembered that we were talking about it. It's the fins are also pretty distinct as well. So,
Hmm.
but
Okay. That makes sense.
that was a good question because like I had a moment of panic where it's like, wait a minute, how are they different again? So,
I'm glad you knew because it was one of those things of like I'm better at knowing, I guess, like the like, like nurse shark, or like the epaulet shark. But once it gets down to like Michael's or like the tawny nurse shark, I'm like, not as good there, you know. Never had to like apply it to like super, super specific species.
like what's crazy is like the epaulets in particular. There's like I forget our count. It was like seven, eight different species, and they all have like these
Right.
beautiful patterns that are all
Yeah.
distinct. So, and I think
That's what cracked me up too. Because like whenever I looked up pictures, I would like see the different like morphs, and I think I just like thought about them. I was like, oh, it's just like a regional difference.
yeah, well, yeah, some of them. One of them does like it might have been Michael's. No, yeah, it might have been Michael's epaulet shark because one of them has like distinct, more distinct stripes that was kind of getting closer to like looking like a juvenile zebra shark. And then one of them has like
Hmm.
a sandy morph in Africa, like in the west coast of
Oh,
Africa,
cool.
and it's more of like a sandy, like rough, like it's not really a reef environment. It's more like a sand flat environment.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think the theory was there's no reason to like expend energy on like producing intricate patterns,
Sure.
you know. So
Going back to like the tiger shark theory, like if there's nothing to blend into, you'd just be plain.
so Roy made a comment. Tawny nurse sharks are more bulky, heavy, and sleepy looking. So,
Oh, sleepy. I like that.
hey, the whale shark!
Nice. Yes.
So this is also a snip from the channel banner. We had a cool like for Shark Week. We did like a banner contest, and like Howard had the winning submission. So it has all these different species, including this whale shark. So I took a
Nice.
snip of the banner, but I love the ridges.
Yeah.
I love the ridges on whale sharks. Like just
Yes. They make me so happy. They're so cool. And it just like it reminds me because they're carpet sharks.
mhm,
And like, but they're so big and not on the bottom, right?
mhm.
So they're like breaking all the rules of their like group. It's so cool. I love them.
It makes me wonder like how I wonder how they evolved. Like how do you become like
Right.
the ocean traveler out of the group of bottom dwelling buccal pumping you know.
Okay. I wonder because I mean they're planktivorous,
Mhm.
so like you had to develop that, and I'm sure because they buccal pump in order to like filter the plankton. Like that's a big
Mhm.
attribute, right?
Mhm.
Is that like a paired,
That
thing necessary or no? Because I guess you could ram feed too,
I think they
but
ran. Oh, go ahead.
I think they do both. No,
Yes.
yeah.
I think you're right. Because I was just going to add, I think for plankton they do the ram feeding and they have gill rakers, but they do eat small fish and they will suck small fish out
Mm,
of like fishing nets, or just like
right,
you
yeah.
know. So,
They're so cool. But yeah, I wonder more things to look into
ooh.
or things to read.
On that note, Roy asks, "Are there any prehistoric species of whale shark?" Which is an excellent question,
That's
because
incredible, and I've never thought about that before. I assume I mean, as the way like this works, I would guess that there is, but I've never looked into one.
like related to that, last week we kind of had a brief touch point on shark evolution, and there was like almost a dozen prehistoric tiger shark species, like different kind. I had no idea that that was like that
Yeah.
many. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, their teeth are fairly common too, like prehistoric, like they're big. I've seen a good number of like inch and a half long, like tiger shark shaped teeth, and I was like,
Wow.
mm-mm.
Wow.
Man, I'm like, don't want to know you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, cool. Howard answered yes, there are prehistoric whale sharks. Their fossils
I
are
was hoping
available.
he'd have the answer.
Oh, here we go, the Lamniformes. So, yeah, so this is going to be like, I don't know about you, my cocoa is making me mildly sleepy, but I'm here for the Lamniformes. Like this is like the
Let's
big.
go. I'm about it. Also, I didn't mean to cut you off. Was there more to Howard's comment of like a name? I want to make sure
Oh, you're
aren't the answers are given.
you're good. I think he mentioned there's also prehistoric basking sharks, which is awesome.
Ooh,
That also blows me away when you think about like how tiny the living basking shark teeth are, and it's like how in the world do you find that fossil? Like,
right. It just looks like a pebble.
yeah, yeah. Excuse me. Are there shark fossil deposits in Pennsylvania? Because I
Um, it's a good question. So I know that there is the Pennsylvanian period of fossils
mhm.
uh, includes the golden age of sharks. I had to do a
Wow.
project about it once, and the only reason I picked it is because it was the Pennsylvanian period, and I'm from Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
And it just happened to be the golden age of sharks. So I don't know if that's related at all to the fossils existing in my state.
Hmm.
Uh, but other than that, I assume that there are because we've got a lot of like rivers.
Mm.
And I mean, Delaware and stuff has a pretty good fossil activity, but more so I hear more about like we have like some really good like petrified wood and like ferns. So I think we were more known to be like the the forest fossils,
Oh, cool.
sadly.
Oh.
Yeah. But we can trade our, fossil adventures. You can come up for like plants and stuff, and I'll come down for teeth of things.
Sounds good. Like, cause we have, we do have two major, it's Miocene and Oligocene teeth. Like, so, like,
Hmm.
I think in the Upper Potomac, it's more, if I have this correctly, it's Oligocene, so it's like, it's not as biodiverse, but it is like a bunch of like sand tiger teeth, and like Otodus, which is like, I think if I remember correctly, Otodus is a ancestor of Megalodon, or it's like a proto,
Yeah.
yeah. And then
Yeah, it's in that circle.
and then when you get to closer to like where I go in like in Yorktown, or like in the James River area, or closer to the bay, you get more into the Miocene, which will have like Megalodon teeth and like prehistoric white shark teeth.
Okay.
I've never found like a Virginia megalodon, but there are like some islands in the bay where it's like they kind of like line like the marshes. Oh, here we go.
Oh, stop it. That's so cool.
So,
Oh, he got the pink color correct.
mm-hmm,
Like the undertone. That's so good.
mm-hmm. So first lamniform is the famous goblin shark.
Yes.
I love that he's munching on an isopod. So,
We had one of those in my school's collection, like a giant isopod,
oh wow, like
and it was yeah.
it was alive.
No, oh no.
Oh, okay.
It was preserved.
Mhm.
Although there was an exhibit in was it California that had them
Hmm.
live? I
Maybe
don't know how they did it because I thought the pressure change would like be lethal. Um,
so. They
but
actually,
science finds a way.
yeah. There's some aquariums on the East Coast that have them. I actually,
Really?
yeah, in Newport News, the Virginia Living Museum actually has one. So that's like pretty wild.
That's so cool.
I thought Virginia Aquarium had one. I've seen them a couple times.
That's cool. Okay.
But it blows my mind for what you just said. It's just like, how in the world do you do that with a pressure change? Like,
Right. I feel like you have to do like a very careful some specialized chamber as they come up to kind of keep, but like I feel like you if you mess up, like I don't know, maybe they're more resilient than I take them to be, but
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know how they work.
got some really cool comments, by the way. So one,
Yeah.
Roy mentioned he's seen some giant isopods at Ripley's Aquarium, in
Nice. Okay.
which is super cool. And then Howard mentioned Pennsylvania has lots of Edestus and freshwater sharks like Orthocanthus. So
Oh,
that's
all
awesome.
right. I'll have to be on the lookout.
Very, very
It's
cool.
good to know.
Oh, man. So I love that when, because you and I are pretty similar. I think we're kind of the same-ish age-ish. And like when we were kids, it was like, I think the depictions of the Goblin Shark were like, it's like the jaw was always protruded, and then
Yeah.
yeah, and I love that as time has gone on, and I had to give Discovery Channel credit. Like when they did like alien sharks, you could see like goblin sharks swimming in a water column, and it's like
Yes.
yeah,
Like alive.
yeah, and their jaw is like smoothly with their head, so it's just like they look like shovel nose. They look kind of
They
goop.
yeah, they never made sense physically as to how they like would swim. But knowing that it, retracts is really it puts it together. Excuse me.
Oh, you're good.
Same for like the blobfish, it's getting its redemption.
Oh yeah, what
You
a
know. Oh, the big eye sand tiger. These are other ones like there's these and going back to like the six gills, like there's some of these they just look like again, not to say that they are, but they like look like a monster. Like they're so just cool.
yeah, agreed.
So cool looking.
Like my kind of like I mean like I never go to cocktail parties, but like cocktail party trick is like
Uh-huh.
it's like, hey, are you afraid of the ocean? Well, check this out. And then I show them like a picture of a big eye sand tiger, and I'm like, this is real. You live in the world with this species. And like
It is like the cruelest species to show to people. Because there's a picture of one like breaking the surface too. I think like it's being someone caught it or something. So it's just like it's the whole mouth and everything. It's just like oh, it's creepy.
I have a friend who's like she has like I don't think she has like thalassophobia, but she's like mildly concerned about the ocean. So I do
Okay.
very much delight in like talking about all the things that are just like disturbing. Like, it's like, oh, the ocean's full of worms. Or like, yeah. Which is
Well, what is it? The bobbit worm.
oh, I forgot about the bobbit worm. Oh gosh.
They're I don't like to think about them.
Oh, me neither. I feel like we should share with the viewers. So the bobbit worm is
Oh yes.
yeah, I feel like I hope it is just in Australia or in somewhere near there. I forget if how wide ranging it is, but
I was gonna say I wouldn't put your money on that.
yeah. But it
Someone with better access to Google should check, but
but like it lies in the seabed and like it lies vertically. Its jaws are kind of at the surface, and if you like step in that area or if a fish swims by, like these like massive crazy like it's almost like a tiny like a bear trap, like these massive crazy
hmm
jaws come out and bite, and the worm is big enough to actually like bite a human. And
yeah, they're a lot. They're creepy.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
let's look up where
Don't wait, what?
I want to look this up now. The bobbit worm.
My guess would be that they're near like Asia. I for some reason thought or like Indonesia, Fiji, one of somewhere in the Pacific.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm seeing coral reefs. Okay, yeah, prey rich environment and coral reefs. I should probably do bobbit worm range. Like,
Oh, there we go.
bobbit worm range. Subtrop. Okay, you're right. Subtropical waters
Oh
in the
yeah.
Indo-Pacific. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. My we'll take Dr. Roche. He taught me that in my marine science class in like sophomore year, so glad it stuck.
This is a cool species, by the way. This is the crocodile shark.
Oh yes, okay.
So,
I have drawn one of these also, yeah.
oh, nice, nice. We in the Virginia Institute of Marine Science of William and Mary, they actually have one in their collection, in their ichthyology collection. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So I was lucky enough to see. I think they only have, if I remember correctly, they just have one. But
okay.
like I remember like reorganizing, because like I was like I loved their fish collection, and I was like, I will voluntarily organize this if you let me. And so like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yep. I
yeah.
did the same thing with ours. I was like, I'll sort this every time. I'll replace the fluids. Yes.
What were some of the coolest things like when you were kind of working in a fisheries collection? Some of your favorite like things that you've seen?
So, okay. The one I think I remember getting most excited for is there was a cat shark, but it was like a small one, like this big.
Hmm.
And it was just I got to see it so up close. And cat sharks are kind of like they look like fuzzy. Something about their denticles is very textured.
Oh
So
right,
seeing
yeah.
that up close was really cool. Um, the giant isopod, super awesome.
Oh, it's
That one was
freaky.
terrifying though. Yeah, because we weren't really allowed to like hold that one.
Mm,
Because it was just so like rare and important.
hmm.
So you had to be like really loved in the department to be trusted to carry with. Um, and then
Okay.
the last two, yeah, it was I didn't like the pressure, so I just would perceive it on a table. Um, we had why is it going out of my head? A ratfish, the
Oh, cool. Yeah,
chimera.
yeah, yeah.
And it was just like the first time I had ever seen a physical one in person, like it's not really something you see every day. So that was a really cool one.
Hmm.
We had a lamprey.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
the
Yeah.
lamprey was cool. They're for I don't know, for forming non-shark content. It's like one of the jawless fishes. And they look like a sarlacc pit from Star Wars. They just have a bunch of like it's like a sucker mouth with teeth. Pretty not fun.
Yeah. That's a good description.
Um,
Yeah, that's actually
yeah,
that. Like that's actually my. It's 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 a swimming sarlacc pit. That's a great.
yeah.
I actually love that description.
I'll have to send you a piece of art I did inspired by one. Um, and then this one's so good.
Hmm.
And you got the bioluminescent lips too.
Isn't that awesome? Um,
I've never seen one like it looks. I think they're really challenging to draw without looking like ugly. I don't know how to say it in a nice way, but like they're hard to make an aesthetic piece with. And Howard did a great job.
yeah, like that. Like this species is also really cool because it's the third filter feeding shark. It's like the basket shark, the whale shark, and the megamouth. But this one
Hmm.
gets the least attention. It's
Yeah.
so.
But we've also only seen like a handful
Hmm.
since its discovery, right?
Hmm.
Like I know there was just a sighting a little bit ago, and then I'm sure you saw like how the one washed up pregnant.
No, actually, I don't think I saw that
No, you
one.
didn't see that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they found unfortunate that it obviously happened, but fortunate for, you know, science, that it washed up because it was like 5 or 7 pups.
Oh
Um,
wow.
so they got to, do some research and look at how, it works, and it was us finding more about it than we previously knew. And I remember seeing the pictures and like you could tell that some of the people were like undergraduates or different. And I was like, how cool for them. Like that had to be so fun.
Man,
Ugh.
I cannot even imagine. Like, cause I remember we did like a trip where we saw just like a little smooth hound washed up, and I was like losing my mind when I saw that. So
Right.
like, so like to have like a mega mouth, like oh my gosh, like but
Yeah, oh, they're there are some just experiences that I really value from like things that I've done. And like, dissections are they're important for science, but they're definitely like it's hard when it's a species that's a little bit more treasured, I guess.
Yeah.
But the opportunity to do it, like I had a friend, I was so excited because she texted me. She was like, I wanted to tell you first, like I got to dissect a six gill, and
Wow.
I was like, I am so jealous, but I'm so happy for you. And I was like, can you please send me every picture and tell me everything about this thing? Because it was just, again, they're massive. So cool. It was so cool. I was so happy for her.
It's funny, kind of related to that. It's interesting. Like I'm glad I've had a lot of experiences that I was old enough to remember and kind of understand the value, but at the same time, like it's like those are moments like you want to go back and replay. Where because like uh, Vims, for example, had like, oh yeah, super cool thresher shark.
Really good action shot too.
Right? Yeah, like just like the arching of the tail or the arc of the tail. Like
Hmm.
you could feel the movement in this piece. It's so cool. Um, but I was just gonna say like Vims has a really good collection, and I remember I went to the Natural History Museum in D.C. and I was like, I've seen that. Like where and it is funny because like Vims was smaller and like I was an undergraduate. I was able to like see firsthand, and it's like I'm glad I was like old enough to kind of appreciate what I was seeing, but like at the same time, if I could like relive and go back, it would be really cool to do that. Where it's like
Hmm.
they have a juvenile great white shark, like which is awesome to kind of like like
Yes.
I tried to lift that once and I was like, oh gosh, it is too heavy. I could barely like get the fin out of the water or out of the
Really.
formalin. Like, and it's like 8 or 9 feet, so it's like,
Okay, I was gonna ask how young it was because we had one as well. Um, and ours was like estimated to be like 3 months old.
oh wow, wow.
But yeah, I loved that thing. He was in one of I don't remember if it was male or female. Either way, it was in one of our classrooms. And I would just stare at it all the time.
Oh
And when I
wow.
started working for the department, I got to like change out the like preservative that we used and help clean it. And so
Mm-hmm.
I got to brush its teeth one day.
Oh my gosh.
And it's one of my favorite facts about myself.
I think a good thing to reiterate, I like for viewers who like may not know, like fisheries collections like these are very important as far as um, they're kind of like libraries that can serve as I think maybe one of the most important things is being like a holotype or a what's like a paratype if I remember correctly, but basically
Yes.
like just like a verifiable physical record, even though it's a preserved specimen, it's a physical record of a species, and this is really important for like endangered species, where it's like if you think of something like the Pondicherry shark or the lost shark, if you have like a physical record of it, it's like okay, we know this is somewhere, and can we find this? And like if we do catch a shark, can we match it to this record? Not to mention like other like anatomical studies or physiological studies where you have that material to compare with, or you could still take DNA from preserved specimens,
Yeah,
right?
yes. I'm not the perfect person to talk about genetic stuff, but I feel like I don't think like I think it depends on the preservative first of all
Mm-hmm.
because there's different types and like there's different benefits and downfalls to each one.
Mm-hmm.
Because like ethanol is not strong enough to like you know break down DNA, but like formaldehyde maybe
Mm.
depending on the concentration. But no, I think like it's what you're talking about is really important. And there's a lot of studies too where they are going back through old records and looking at how things have changed because especially now with a lot of scientific ocean-based stuff and just environmental work really relies on looking back at what things were like a couple decades ago or even hundreds
Yes.
of years ago, in order to say that things are changing at maybe a rate that's concerning. And so like for a lot of the like for people who don't know, in addition to sharks, I did a lot of and I do a lot of work with plastics and plastic pollution.
Hmm.
And there's actually there's a really cool postdoc position that I just heard about where it's someone going through an old museum records collection and looking at the plastic content in each one of the species.
Mm.
And what's important to know too, when I worked at a museum, there was the collections department and there was the education department. And, when you go to some place that has like specimens like this, it's going to be the things that the public is allowed to see.
Mm.
And that's usually because there was an error in how it was like recorded.
Mm.
So they always did a really good example of like, you couldn't just take your grandmother's seashell collection and donate it to a museum. If you did that, it would go to the education department because we don't know where they were from, when they were collected. We could ID the species, but it could be challenging depending on what information we have.
Hmm.
But if you started going to the beach, you know, tomorrow and you collected, okay, I collected it at this pinpoint, this time, it's this species, and you had this really heavily documented, like that's a big part of it is documentation.
Hmm.
Um, and species change,
Hmm.
a lot of new taxonomic discoveries are from old specimens because
Mm.
we don't always know what we have until we have more advanced technology to find it.
Like
So,
I'm curious if like the Carolina hammerhead might be an example because like the vertebrae count is the thing that distinguishes it from the scalp
right.
hammerhead, and it's just like
Yep.
you wouldn't be able to know that unless you like dissected it and like like compare the two. Also, before the slide disappears, sorry, the slide.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's oh no.
It's okay. We could go backwards. We could go backwards.
Okay,
I
yes.
think we can make an exception just because
I
that
think so
one.
too, because it
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah.
We had our soapbox moment and it was
Yeah.
important.
So
Wow.
isn't that amazing? Like,
Yes, the lighting.
yeah, I was
Oh,
blown away when this came in. So this is another piece by Howard Kerr, short film Mako.
yes.
Uh, I love. I think I found. Yeah, Motorhead. I think I found like Motorhead study music, where it's like Ace of Spades is Motorhead, right? I know I'm like.
I
Was,
know. I'm like sitting there thinking, I'm like, I can hear the song. I'm like, but the band is blanking on me.
yeah, it is Ace. It is Motorhead. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Um, because like I was asking the stream like, hey, like because originally when this all started, viewers would I would ask viewers sharks and music selections, and a lot of sharks came
Ooh.
in. Music selections not so much, so that kind of faded away. But there was one stream where I was like, kind of like bringing that back. It was like, any music selections, just please let me know. And I think it was Howard who suggested Motorhead. And I found this like slowed down, like they got I'm not as good with like the music in terms of like what the genealogy is, but they got like the tempo into this like relaxing thing where it's actually studying music, like you can actually listen to it,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's like rock, Motorhead, like just as awesome mix. And like between that and Mako and Ace of Spades, like ship in the background, like it was an awesome stream, and like this was like an awesome piece to kind of kick that. Mako Shark stream was a lot of fun. Like it was an awesome piece to kick that off. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of action and like movement and like even just the hint of like the song. It just like I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let's go. It's so good.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Howard says that's Lemmy playing on the prow of the ship. Nice. So
I was wondering if that was someone playing the guitar. It's so good.
awesome. You know, I love also just the swordfish being in here because it's like it's just the classic arch nemesis. Like Old Man in the Sea, like the mako shark versus the
Hmm.
swordfish. This might be my favorite Howard Care piece this year. Honestly, like this one was just awesome. Like knocks it out of the park. Like, so, you know.
Yeah, it's really stellar. And like I would definitely be interested to look at Howard's pieces from like a chronological perspective, because kind of like what he was even saying earlier of like, you get better, each time that you create. So I'd love to see just like the growth in that order.
Awesome. So yeah,
So good.
and like I love your comment about the lighting, Jess, because like totally agree. Like just like the sunlight on the back of the shark and the
Yeah,
waves.
like it's so good. Yes.
Salmon
Oh,
shark.
so good. That log is awesome too. Like what a creative way to put the facts in there.
I love the like the totems in the background and like this beautiful red salmon
Hmm.
just because this species is so cool as far as like being a uniquely like I think salmon sharks have a superlative ability as far as raising their body temperature. Like I know mako sharks and white sharks do that famously, but I think salmon sharks might be the superlative as far as like how high they can raise it. But
That would make sense because I mean, aren't they pushing the boundary the most on like the colder water? So like a could see them having like an advantage genetically.
yeah,
I didn't know that though specifically, but it makes sense.
it's cool that these are like Alaska. Like they could be found all the way up to like I love the idea of like an Alaskan shark. Like it just there's
I
something
know.
it's iconic. So
Yeah, you don't think much about like cold sharks.
Arctic sharks would be a cool special, to do someday.
Ooh, ooh. Mm-hmm.
Because you would have like dogfish, sleeper sharks.
Yeah.
I guess you technically have basking sharks, probably.
That's fair, yeah, because they're up in like Iceland, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think they
Am
actually.
I
I'm.
My geography is failing me right now.
I think. I think you're right because like southern Iceland is temperate, and I think they can go up that far. But
Yeah,
let
maybe.
me double check that. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna consult the
Consult the map.
consult the map. Basking shark range. Man. Oh yeah, yeah. Iceland. Yep, they could be found in Iceland. So
Awesome.
good call. I saw one when I was a kid, and
What?
yeah, it was a whale watch in New England, and there was this like we were looking at the ocean. I thought I was looking at like a piece of garbage. Was like my first like my first reaction was like it was this like giant like hunk of thing floating in the ocean, and then the captain was like, "That is the fin of a basking shark." Like I thought I was
Mm.
looking at, like a trashed buoy, and it's like that is a basking shark. like, so
Better than the reverse.
yeah, yeah. So I wish I was like I wish I could remember that more and like I wish I could like
Sure.
go back and relive that because it's like I just did not know like how like much of a treat that was. It was just like oh man, it was so cool.
That's so cool. Were you because yeah, I don't were you as obsessed with sharks? Like where did your like shark love start?
Um, that's a good question. It's honestly been ever since I was like I honestly think it's just like kind of like one of those like core pure like ever since I can remember, I love them. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't really explain why. And like even like now, like years later, between like school and like writing and like doing like YouTube and like just like all these projects. I mean, that's like decades of like shark obsession, right? And it's
Yeah.
like I still can't really explain like the core of it. It's just like they're just purely wonderful and awesome, and like I just yeah, like
Yeah, there's something about finding something that you just like, no matter what, you just want to learn about forever.
yeah.
I'm like, I, I'm happy. I'm happy to always be learning about them.
Yeah. So it's also been fun, kind of like on a sentimental note, like, because I think, I mean, like, with the holidays and this being the last stream of the year, and like sharing this particular stream with you, like, I've met a lot of people through sharks. Like I met you through sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the chat meeting through sharks. Like it's been like sharks unite us. So like,
They do. My coworker at my new job, I guess because my new job, it's chemistry. So I'm working with a lot of people who they're not marine scientists, they are chemists.
mhm.
And so we have a very, very different background. And they saw that I was like a shark person, and was still doing like active shark education. And they were like, I want to be your friend. Like we are gonna talk. And we're buddies now. And it's because I've had sharks in my life.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they're how I got my second job. Um, I was wearing shark pants and a shark backpack to the museum,
Oh,
and like one of the educators came up and she was like, "We're friends. I like those things. I need to know where you got them." And she's like, "And you should volunteer here." And I started, and now, oh, that's another thing I didn't update you about. But if anyone's local to Delaware, there was a campaign done by the Delaware Museum of Nature and Science where they featured me it's called like, What Does a Scientist Look Like?
yes, yes.
And so I got featured as one of the scientists. And so it was really surreal because I went to this museum as a kid, like in a stroller, and I've grown up with it. I started volunteering and then I taught there and then I wrote Shark Camp there. And now my face is on a banner outside of the building. Like it's
Oh, it's
really
so
crazy.
cool. Oh my
It was
gosh.
yeah, I've cried about it a lot.
Oh, that's fantastic. And also, like, I love that the museum like did that and just recognizing like all of your work and also like, but both just objectively like, because like you've done a lot, like so much with sharks and with education, but then also like on a personal level, like you have a special relationship with that museum. So it's just like it was so
Yeah.
cool. Like,
Yeah, I would love to just, if I could work there forever, I would. They're great. It was such an honor.
Roy made really sweet comment. I needed these live streams. I never really met that many people shark people down here. And then he also wrote, "Yes, Jess." So,
Thanks, Rory.
so
Now, shark people are good people.
they are good people.
They're a good community.
Cheers to that. So,
Get my narwhal mug out.
yeah, I've got like, I unfortunately don't have a shark. I should have gotten my moat mug. I've got like an Outer Banks Island Life mug,
Ooh.
so I should have put the fan.
Yeah, this one has two narwhals.
Oh,
Sweet.
nice. We also got. Oh yeah, cheers, Roy. We also got. We're at our last order. We're on Lamniformes. So,
Oh, really? Okay.
yum. So,
Gotta savor it.
um, and I think we have a nice amount where it's like, because I know this is the biggest order as far as like sharks go, but I think as far as the year goes, I think we had a comparable amount of Carchariniforms and Lamniforms. So, like, we're in the home stretch as far as like
Nice, nice.
it's so exciting to talk about, but it's also Monday, and it's like we also have our special Coco, and so like all these factors are like, oh man, like it's a happy marathon as far as like
Yes,
yeah.
no, it's been good. And it's been fun to just kind of like, because with I know with our specific stream, I don't know about your other streams, but we were very just like we're really good at our tangents and
Hmm.
like we find our way back.
Hmm.
But we're gonna take the scenic route.
Yeah.
And this was a good excuse to be able to just kind of have that conscious just like word vomit and then be like, oh, there's a new picture. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So it's very good for like how we conversate.
Yeah. Agreed. This is a cool group, by the way, the Deepwater Cat Sharks. I love that they're also called
Yeah.
Demon Cat Sharks. So,
Ooh.
that's a fancy, fun name that I think one of them is literally called a demon cat shark, and then Aposturus, the genus, was just in general as a catch-all demon cat sharks because they live so far
Oh,
down.
okay.
But
Right.
I love this like okay.
Is it in the Hadal zone? Is it in the Hadal zone or is that too deep for things that have a body like this?
I think it might be too deep because that's like
Yeah.
is that six?
That's like deep, deep.
Yeah, it's like 6,000
Okay.
meters.
Yeah.
So
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but like I love this piece like because it's like a viewfinder, like as if he's in a
Oh,
cell. Yeah.
yes. Okay, I was trying to figure out where the digital font was inspired, but you nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
I love shy sharks.
Yeah.
Like throwback to how you were saying you torment your friends with like with the sand tiger.
Mm-hmm.
This is the shark you show to people that you want to like sharks and
Yes.
not fear the ocean because
Yes.
they're so cute.
You know, I have to show this one to my girlfriend actually. So
Oh, she hasn't seen it
I
yet?
don't think I don't
Yes.
think so.
This
So
is the next one.
this is the next one. So this species, for people who may not know, like as a protective defensive maneuver, it will cover its face with its tail, which is why they're called shy sharks. It looks like they're shy. So so they curl up into a ball and cover their eyes and they hide. So it's quite adorable. Um,
They're so cute.
Haploblepharus. I think they live in southern Africa, and
There are species in Africa.
I love also.
I'm not sure about other places.
I love that some shy sharks have like um, funny names like the Happy Eddie or the like Eddie and Isaac. I like there's a shy shark that's nicknamed Izak, and then there's another one that's nicknamed Eddie. It's like the species name, but like I'm not
Oh,
really sure where it comes from. But
interesting.
so
Huh. My brain goes to like the eddies, the water movements, but I don't think it's that.
yeah, I think it's
That's just a happy correlation.
yeah. This I think I'm guessing like I could be completely off the mark, but like I feel like it is a South African thing, like because it's like it's
Probably.
so yeah, it's so unique. Like that terminology, I've never seen it anywhere else. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, that's where there's a conference there's a conservation conference there this year in South Africa,
Mm.
or I guess 2024. But the logo for it this year is I think it's a pajama shark.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
it's really cute. I also really like the sea urchins
Mm-hmm.
in this piece. Sea urchins are hard to draw,
Mm-hmm.
and these are great.
I have a random question. Are sea urchins? You know what? Okay, maybe like I was about to ask if sea urchins are just temperate, but I'm just rapidly remembering like no, I think they're anywhere, right? Like
Yeah, they're pretty common. Well, because you have them in the Pacific coast with like the otters and the whole
mm-hmm.
like urchin. It's like urchin, starfish, sea otter issue,
Yeah, like it's like
right? The like cascade trophic cascade
mm-hmm.
example. Um, yes.
Ooh, oh, this is beautiful.
I my friend, I have a really awesome friend. Her name is Casey Gallagher.
Mm-hmm.
She does artwork. She's like an aquarist mainly,
Mm.
but she's an artist and she likes to do art based around fish and she uses UV paint so that like under the
Oh,
black light it like kind of looks like how aquariums look under black light. So it's really cool. And she did one of a swell shark because they also
nice.
glow under black light and it's I love it so much.
That is awesome. Like
I'll add it to the list of things I need to show you.
yes, please do. I remember in our Swell Shark stream, we did talk about where it's like I guess the advantage of the oh, I get these mixed up like the ultraviolet what do you call that like as far as like if a species emits that like oh what do
Oh,
you call
I'm
that?
trying to the photo for are you trying to say photo for it again
No,
or
no, it's when like a species like the swell shark is like under ultraviolet light and it's like it's lumen oh no what is this fluorescence there we go fluorescence
yes,
yeah
okay. I was like
yeah
it's
so
like I can't help you.
so it's like if I remember correctly we were discussing on that stream that the fluorescence helps the shark blend in, or either blend in or stand out. No, I think blend in with its reef environment, no matter
Hmm.
how much red, green, blue light is filtered, because it's like no
Oh,
matter what the
because the UV penetrates.
yeah no
Oh, that makes sense.
mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Okay, so I always like if in another world I was an art teacher, I always really wanted to do a project based around how different animals see things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it just, I think we take for granted a lot that our world looks the way that we see it, but it's like
Yes.
birds, dogs, cats, sharks, anything pretty much sees with different eyes than we do
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like color, shape, like horses and like hammerhead sharks, like they have a blind spot in the middle of their vision. Like I couldn't imagine having that.
Yeah.
Um, and so I always really wanted to do a series or really like a class of people just like picking an image and like, you know, turning it into what something else would see. Um,
That
and I don't know if it comes from like I'm legally blind in my left eye, so like I think a lot about like, oh, I
I
wonder what it would be like if I saw. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. And
Yep, I'm a cyclops kind of.
I find that ironic. I find that ironic because it's like you have such a good eye for art, and like like you're
Thank
this
you.
amazing artist.
Just one good eye.
But like, I love that concept. Like as far as like just the different styles of vision of the like with different animals, because it's like for like even just on a philosophical level, I love that it kind of humbles humanity quite a bit. Where it's like, yeah, we think we know everything, but we know everything that we are capable of knowing, and like we have
Right,
limited capability, and it's like that
right.
that I love that. It just fascinates me,
Yeah.
and yeah.
See, you get what I'm going for. Um, it's like the whole thing of like the peacock mantis shrimp can like see like we have what? It's like three different photoreceptors. And they have like 16.
I'm so sorry, Jess. I just want to say,
Oh,
Minja says I have to dip out a bit early, but I want to say happy holidays. Hope to learn even more about sharks in the new year. Thank you so much, Minjas. We'll be back mid-January, so but thanks so much for joining. I just wanted to say happy holidays to you too. So sorry,
yeah, thank you. Thanks for tuning in.
yeah, sorry about that, Jess. I didn't mean to interrupt, but
Oh, no, you're fine. I'm happy that you said something. But yeah, just like the concept of like how can you imagine more colors than what you know? It's so cool. Animals are awesome.
you know, this
Is
was
that a wedge fish down there? A shovel-nosed guitarfish. Okay.
you know,
Nice.
and this is really cool. This was last week's stream, the leopard shark.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Well,
Makes sense.
what's funny is I don't think it was apparent, but like when we did that stream last week, like kind of in the beginning, like I was actually kind of getting emotional, and I don't think it was apparent on camera, but like I was kind of like because like this stream was like kind of like our holiday party stream, so I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like the fun, upbeat one,
Right,
and then
right.
like the last one was like oh my gosh, it's been a great year, like kind of saying goodbye to 2023, and it's just like I kind of like I don't think it came up on camera, but it was like inside I was like, oh man, this is gonna be hard, like it was
No.
like a lot has happened, it's been a really really cool project, so yeah, like
Yeah, I admire what you've built in terms of your streaming and seeing all these drawings kind of as like a testament to, your episodes and just like, Howard obviously is making the wonderful art, but it's really cool to kind of just like see like your passion bleed through your fan base. And I'm very honored to be a part of it, so thank you.
thank you, Jazz.
Um, no, it's so cool. I love something in 2023, since we're reflecting, that I've really been kind of like coming to terms with, I guess, is like how much I value community and how much I think we lack it. Like it's really hard to feel a sense of community on the internet in general unless you're like digging into these like really niche, shark YouTube channels, like things like that, like and you're finding people who like really just care about something that's so, just unique and special to you.
Hmm.
Um,
Thank you.
and so, yeah, I hope that 2024 brings like community and connectedness for many people, because that's what I'm trying to do.
Thank you. And same here. I definitely agree with that. Especially since like there's so much. I bet, and like I've been kind of like focusing on ads lately, where it's like I've been so annoyed by all like I feel like ads are getting so much worse, and it's just like it's adding to noise where there's
Yeah.
just like so much noise that kind of like is discouraging to kind of get through to find like some of these niche areas like YouTube specifically like I feel like that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, but then on top of that you know physically I feel like there's so much lack of incentive to physically volunteer in the community and like so much
Mm-hmm.
more that's kind of keeping you online, but then like online is like there's just so much noise you know, so
Yes, no, it's
yeah.
a lot. It's a lot. And it's a whole other podcast episode in itself. But one of the big things I do really miss about Texas is I had started after I got my master's, I had time to go out and like sell my art at markets.
Oh,
And I
cool.
joined an artist collective and I got to, every Saturday hop up at a pop-up market and sell my stickers and talk to people. And it was just it was really cool, And I left that like art community that I had. I had vendors that I would be neighbors with every time, and one of the shop owners on the street would make sure I had a spot, and they just people looking out for each other with no real incentive to do so,
Mm-hmm.
other than just like they wanted to help that person exist. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was refreshing,
Hmm.
and I miss it. I'm gonna have to work on building it again here.
On and also before I have a note about that, like a positive
Hmm.
note about Pennsylvania specifically. But
Oh,
before this disappears,
yes.
this is a star of the year, Hemipristis, especially fossil Hemipristis. These are really cool teeth, like the snaggletooth shark teeth.
Yes.
So just wanted to kind of like shout out because I actually did not know for the longest time there was a living species. So Hemipristis elongatus is alive and
Huh.
very much a part of our world. So
That's really cool. Yay.
but oh yeah, the weasel shark. So these are cool because they actually have like distinctly yellow stripes in life. So it's like it's like a smooth or yeah like I think it's part of Triachidae if I no actually oh let me look that up. Sorry,
And
my
say I'm not as well versed with the weasels.
yeah. Let's see. While I'm looking this up, I was gonna say I kind of have a theory. Oh, here we go. Hemigaliidae. So I got that wrong. Hemigaliidae. So
Hmm.
somewhere kind of between a smooth hound and a ground shark, like a sandbar shark
Okay.
or yeah. But one funny thing I feel like I've observed is if you're close to the ocean, you may not like get as much attraction to like marine art and stuff just because like you're right there. But if you're far,
Really?
yeah, but if you're far away from the ocean, like or like if you're in kind of more like a landlocked state, I feel like it's more interesting and like as far as like art
Huh.
festivals and stuff. I could be wrong. I am one data point with like just a couple examples, but
That's
like
fair. That's fair.
but it's something I've noticed because it's like I think when I've been like at book signings inland, I've noticed a lot more interest. And then like I remember
Mm-hmm.
I went to like a festival somewhere in Florida, and it was like we have sharks, like so, you know. I don't know. I hope that's maybe somewhat encouraging as far as like
That's fair.
plugging into like a
That's
yeah, you know.
I've never thought about it that way. I'll have to, because I've only done one market since I've been back, and I mean, I did well, like for the market,
Mm-hmm.
but I was a little discouraged because I made those Christmas cards that I showed you,
Mm-hmm.
and I sold 2 packs, which like it was great. Thankful for the sales,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, but I was like, am I painting for? I painted a picture of like a red snapper with like a Santa hat floating above it as Christmas cards. And then I was like, maybe people don't want they don't want that here, like, because Texas fishermen, they would have loved it. I feel like I would have sold that out at my Texas shows.
Hmm.
Um, but part of me, I'm like, who knows? Maybe.
Is there a link to that, by the way? Because I would love to. Yeah, I would actually love to. I've seen this red snapper card, and it is actually gorgeous.
Yeah,
Like, I would love to. If you don't mind, I could pin it on the channel and pin the link if there is.
sure.
Yeah.
So I'm really behind on having like a website or anything. But my business name is Going Dottie. Um, just Gott. Oh no, I'm spelling both the word going and then Dotty. I'm on Instagram and Facebook just as that. Pretty easily findable. And if you message me or anything, I can get you hooked up with some stickers or prints, Christmas cards, or custom art of your favorite. So
Awesome. Yeah, please send me the links and I'll pin them on
will do.
because YouTube has like this now. It has this like cool community feature where it's like it allows you to post like Facebook. It's probably been there for years now, but yeah,
Probably.
I'll pin that on the channel.
Cool.
You know,
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks
th-
for the plug.
yeah, of course. Well, thank you for being here. Like, it's just like it's
Of
super.
course.
Yeah. Also, this species is really cool. This is the pig eye shark, which looks eerily close to bull sharks. Like in life,
Oh,
this one is very, very, very hard to tell from bull sharks. They.
never heard of this species before.
So this is an Indo-Pacific species, and I think it's the size of the dorsal fin, where it's like pig eye shark is slightly larger, like slightly higher, and like just slightly sharper looking features. But if you had like, there's some great side by side photos of pig eye sharks, and
Yeah,
yeah, just like it's wild. Also, I've been neglecting the chat. I'm so sorry. Howard made a really a comment about the snaggletooth, and this is really important because this is like snaggletooths and Howard. I think are synonymous. Like both the prehistoric and the living shark. So like I've actually learned so much from Howard Care on like Hemipristis and snaggletooth sharks.
really.
He commented that they're his favorite. He's been studying that family for a long time, and it's just like it's really cool where it's like I kind of feel like not to speak for you, Howard, but I kind of feel like it's like your signature species, which like I think is really cool. Like I love kind of like sharks are kind of like that. I think my placeholder signature species is probably the scalloped hammerhead, just because it's like again it's my favorite encounter so far. So,
Mm,
but although like the bull sharks, I mean yeah, I think a couple years ago
that's
it was the
true.
bull
I
shark.
definitely associate you with bull sharks more.
Thank you. Yeah, like I'm slowly morphing. I think into the new age of hammerheads, but I
That's
love them
fair. That's
both.
fair.
I love them both.
Change is allowed.
For you, I always associate sandbar sharks and tiger sharks. Like those are the two that
Okay.
I'm like, yeah. How the
Yeah. Sandbar sharks are just like they're close to my heart because I've probably had the most interactions with them out of all the sharks that I've handled, just because of the nature of where I was.
mm,
Um, but yeah, the tiger shark was my like dream, like, for anyone who saw that whole video and heard the story, like I actually like shed a tear on the boat when I was holding one. Um, so I think that's yeah. I think the only other one, and just because it's like my favorite, is the epaulette.
oh,
That's the
nice.
other ones I like think of as my like signature, just because I like telling people about them.
Very cool. I love this double feature by the way because I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think the stream was a black tip reef shark, but it's cool to see this like awesome great hammerhead in the background, and like
Mm-hmm.
I love great hammerheads in general, just like their look, like they're so extreme looking, like
Yeah. They're like gritty, and like their jaws and like the way they hang their jaws just very like, all right, I'll give you your space.
I remember one of my proudest moments. I zinged a scientist on great hammerheads,
Ooh,
because
let's hear it.
so I, being like the nerd that I am, loved documenting sharks that have passed through Virginia waters, including like offshore waters. Just very curious about that.
Yeah.
And I saw on IUCN Red List that great hammerheads can do that. And so I mentioned this to like an actual scientist, like a shark scientist, and I was like an undergraduate at the time, and he's like, "Oh no, that's impossible. Like it's too cold. They can't do it, and that's not true." And then I dug a little bit deeper, and it's like there was a documented fishing record in New Jersey of a great hammerhead,
Wow.
in New Jersey waters, and it was like, hey,
Dang.
where do you think it,
Cool.
when
Send me
it,
that link.
oh, it's in New Jersey, eh? Like, I wonder what state it went through to get to New Jersey.
Yeah, he just like went up, out, and around, Completely avoided Virginia. That's
Oh,
funny.
oh my gosh.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Roy wrote, "Great hammerheads are like the big, intimidating biker guys of hammerheads." Love that. Um, Howard wrote, "Tiger sharks are awesome. I love the whole spiritual connection with them." So, which is super cool. And
Yes, yes.
and then Roy added the great hammerhead is a biker hammerhead, but with a soft side. So, yeah, I like that addition, that asterisk for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I love. I don't know. There is just kind of a read you get from sharks, and like some looks just like silly. Like I think blue sharks looks just hilarious. They're so silly looking, but other sharks I would definitely take seriously any day.
Have you seen the thresher shark memes? I think it's a pelagic thresher, which is like it, or the big eye thresher. It's like a shark with these huge. Oh, here we go, Jess. Check it out.
Hello, my friend. Oh, I love them. They're so and the regal like script for it.
Mm-hmm.
Howard, you know, they are deserving.
Mm-hmm.
We my professor who we did a lot of the shark research with sandbars, and he will go to bat for sandbars any day.
Mm.
Um, we once we were so when you hold sharks, sometimes you want to like support them by like their jaw,
Mm-hmm.
and that is for the safety of them and for the safety of you.
Mm.
Um, and so with that, they're still like moving. And we had one as we were walking, it was a sandbar, and it was just like wagging its tail, and it just looked like a puppy, like the way that it was like flopping. And he's very sweet and funny. And so we were taking our final on how to like identify sharks, which if you get the sandbar shark wrong in his class, like you're were you even in the class?
Yeah.
But we're looking at the pictures of him, and he's like, some may say this one's like a puppy dog. And I was like, thank you, sir.
Howard made a great comment, by the way. Do you see the ray? I actually missed
Oh
it.
my God, no, I didn't even see that.
Is that awesome? Like,
That was so well hidden.
excellent camouflage. Yeah.
That was well done. I will say sometimes I cheat and I just look for your guides with the different species on them, and then I start looking. But this one, it's kind of like lended itself to being hidden. That was really well done. Which
Mm-hmm.
species did you intend this? Is this a skate or a ray? Because it looks thorny.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the comments. My guess is this is a southern stingray, is going to be my guess.
Okay.
But I could be
Yeah, it
wrong.
would make sense for the species diversity there.
Hmm. But I remember sandbar sharks were like a shark you work up to, where it's like your first shark when you handle the first shark you handle is like a sharp nose shark because it's like small and it's like it's a great one. Like because I love that you mentioned that technique about like holding the jaws, or like underneath
Hmm.
the jaws for like safety reasons. And then
Yeah.
like the sandbar shark, it was just like it's pretty strong. Like you gotta like practice more on the sharp nose sharks before you get up to sandbar shark level, and then
Hmm.
bull sharks are like another league of like. Yeah.
Have I told you my bull shark story? Did we talk about that?
I don't know if we talked about it on the stream, like, cause like I remember you had a wild encounter with one, right? Like,
Yeah, I because I've seen some in the wild at like in the Bahamas or really any like place that just throws like a marina, they're gonna be around.
Hmm.
Um, so this was like a restaurant with no railing, and it terrified me because I was like people at a bar, no railing, and then just bull sharks ready to get
Oh,
at whatever falls in.
oh,
Not a good combo.
yeah.
Not the story I'm gonna tell though, because I don't have a story about that.
Hmm.
But when we were doing research out on a boat, um, we were in Winyah Bay, which is it's the third largest estuary on the East Coast.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So we're not second. We're not right behind the Chesapeake, but we're one level down. And so we would do like population. We were looking to see if that area was a nursery for any sharks. It was and is. Big place for sandbars, but it also has bulls because it's a brackish system.
Hmm.
And we usually we had like a pontoon boat, and on that boat you could have a crew of like 12 to 15 people like pretty easily. We would function really well with like 8 to 12 people. But we've done small crews before and it happens. Um, this day we had four.
Oh
We had
no.
four people and then the captain. It was myself, and by this time, like I was pretty experienced, so I like knew what I was doing on the boat. And then we had another person. We were both seniors, so we both knew what we were doing. We had the grad student. She knew what she was doing, and then we had this girl who had never been on a boat before, never touched a fish. Like she was very much new.
Hmm.
And we love teaching. So we were excited to teach her, but it's harder when you have a smaller crew. And then we had the captain. And so the point of this research is you do long line fishing.
Hmm.
So it's you set up a buoy, you run just like a wire, and then you have hooks just hanging. You let it soak for like 45 minutes. You go lay out your other ones, you come back, and then you check them again. And
Hmm.
the process, I have to like kind of mime this, so give me a second to readjust.
Yeah.
But you have to like pull it in from the water and you're
Hmm.
like detaching the clips as you go.
Hmm.
Um, and with the nature of this process, like you can't stop. You can't stop pulling it in. If there's an animal on the line, like you hand it off and you just keep going, and the other people take care of the animal. So
Oh.
it gets really fun sometimes. And so we had an animal come up and it was a sandbar shark and it was like decently sized. So we throw it. I was pulling at this point. So we like unclip that one, hand it over, and it goes in like a basically like a bathtub on the boat where we can like keep it in water and breathing, and still like take the measurements we need to take for it.
Hmm.
And like we had a really good system, so it's only a few minutes where it's like hanging out. And then I'm like pulling and pulling, and it's like it gets heavier. And when you're like doing this more, you can kind of feel out like what the animal's gonna be. Sharks, conveniently enough, like they're really hydrodynamic, so sometimes they just like show up.
Hmm.
Like they don't always fight all the time.
Hmm.
Red drum fish will go crazy back and forth, and then stingrays have a big drag because
Hmm.
I mean it's just a big flat animal. So I felt what I thought was a stingray, just a lot of weight and a lot of drag, and I was like, all right, guys, like something, we're gonna get something. And stingrays are kind of annoying to get because they're not our target. We do like record them, but like detaching them from the hook, and it's the for people who don't know about stingrays too, they have a jaw that is like less structured than a shark's jaw because they need to like suction feed a little bit more.
Hmm.
So there's more fragile like ligaments that connect their jaw to their bodies to the point where if you ever see someone pulling a stingray up from a pier and just bringing it all the way up, they are harming that animal because their jaw can't handle their body weight.
Hmm.
And so you have to be really careful when you like handle, especially the big ones. So
Hmm.
that's what makes it extra concerning because it's another level of just like making sure they're okay.
Hmm.
So I thought we were pulling up a stingray. Um, and based on what triggered this conversation, you can probably guess it was a bull shark. And it was. We pull this thing up. It's huge. It was like 7 to 8 feet
Oh
long.
my, oh no. No, no, no.
And mind you, it's just me and the grad student handling it
Hmm.
because the other two have the sandbar and the captain is captaining the boat. And the tide was coming in and it was pulling the shark under the boat. The shark's too big to put onto the boat,
Whew.
and it still has the hook in its mouth. So we're trying to like get the hook in out of its mouth, put fin ropes on it, and she's like, "All right, can you like reach around and like put a fin rope on it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, okay." And I'm like reaching out of the boat, like trying to put the fin rope on, and like the shark like turns and it's like mouth, and I'm like, "Nope, not doing that." Sorry, never mind. And we had to like try to get like the boat hook and like pry it out from under because it was just getting pushed under. We couldn't measure anything from it. We had to just let it go.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was it was beautiful. It was covered in mud too. Um, but it was a crazy day. We were exhausted.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. Just like, oh hey,
Mhm.
hey, here you
There's our
go.
tiger. I recognize this one.
Such a good
Oh,
piece. Um,
this was the first piece of Howard's that I saw too.
oh yeah, yeah.
Still
Like,
invokes the same emotion.
I love like the I forget the name of the weapon, but like the tiger shark club
Mhm.
on the seabed. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was a really good
and it's what
inclusion.
this wasn't intention, but it's kind of cool to be talking about like one of like the most dangerous shark species, and then one of the other most dangerous shark species like just appears.
Just like,
So,
hey, gonna come up. Oh,
oh man.
they're so pretty.
I also love like just the orientation of the shark, the turtle, the totems. Like it's just like man, how this is awesome. Like just like just the like he definitely has an eye as far as just like where things should
Yeah,
be.
his
Like
his composition choices are really well done. And like you can see that there's an intention to them. Because one of the things that I remember learning in one of my art classes that I always think about is how do you draw the viewer's eye around the whole piece? How do you make sure they're looking at every inch of your canvas, or if it's 3D, make them walk around. And you do that here. Like I see the shark and I go, to the shark's body, and then I see the turtle, but then I'm like, oh wait, the totem down here, and then I go to the other totem and I see, the weapon and the sharks in the background along the way. Like it's really well done.
absolutely. It was kind of fun too. Howard made a really cool comment. I love the dance of the shark and the turtle.
Hmm.
So cool. Um, like what's funny is uh, I think this was our first in our first stream. We were talking about composition as far as like the display, whereas like trying to figure out like where your camera should be and like where everything else is. So like for tonight, we have this little Santa hat shark in the bottom right corner, but that it's part of that there was a bunch of empty space, and I was like, well, no, we have to have something to make this more like yeah like balanced looking. So,
Hmm.
but oh man, I still love Galusair today. I love that this is its own family now. Like it's just such a cool. I really enjoy the paradigm shifts like in my lifetime as far as sharks go. Like this is its own family. Like sand tigers are their own family now. Like it's super cool. Like
Yeah, it's interesting. I know the seagrass community also had some big taxonomic name changes in our life, but they're just not as noticeable because it's grass, but it has its own merit.
so
Oh, Anya, this is awesome.
I think this is a great hammerhead. So and I love the eye on this drawing, where it's just like, just very watchful, like kind of full of life, but like
Yeah, it's like pensive.
she also nailed the head, like
She did.
there's a little bit of subtle shading that I really love, where you can kind of barely see like the ampullae Lorenzini a little bit, like just like a little bit. So and it feels like there's more like depth to it or weight to it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the like the subtle curvature. That's the hard thing I think with drawing sharks is there's no like sharp lines. So you really have to have a good handle on your shading
Mm-hmm.
to make them convincingly the shape that they are. Especially like when, like the whale sharks, they have those like those ridges,
Mm-hmm.
and like the zebra shark, same deal. Like they have that. It's like it's not an angle, so you don't want a hard line there, but you need a lot of different light and tone to show it off. And it's just you guys do great.
So
I love combining both these passions.
this is gonna sound insane, but that kind of barely reminds me. So it's like we're talking about like soft lines for sharks and how they're like important for that. The opposite being hard lines, immediately making me think of a film challenge I did with some friends last night, which was a nightmare. The Star Wars holiday special. Like
Okay.
we watch. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
We watched the Star Wars holiday special last night as like a film challenge. And like there's like a segment that's animated and like
Oh,
it's one of the most wild bizarre things. And like Luke Skywalker is so angular in that, like he looks like a Mega Bloks Roblox character.
stop it. I need to
It's
look this up.
insane. But yeah, like the Star Wars Holiday Special is truly one of the worst things I've ever seen. I like we should have known better, but like it was someone one of my friends sent me a great review of it. It was
Oh,
yeah, she one of the reviews, and I think this came from the 70s. I'm not convinced the special wasn't ultimately written by and directed by a sentient bag of cocaine. So it was
stop
it
it.
was terrible. And I there was some. I don't think I've ever reacted to a film the way I did at the special. There were some moments where I was like I felt like my jaw dropped and and like I'm in my 30s and I'm like, okay, I've seen things in the world, I know things,
I
and it's like, oh god, this is horrible. So
it yeah, mm-mm. That was a very angular image
yeah.
that I'm sad to know that I've seen.
Yeah, Han Solo looks like Nigel Thornberry in the animated piece. It's just it's so ugly. So, but getting back to the opposite of ugly, we have this beautiful bonnethead shark.
Yes, yes, please. I've always thought that their scientific name was really fitting for them. Like Tibero is just very, I don't know, because isn't it that's a Shakespeare character, isn't it?
Ooh, I don't know actually.
Isn't it? I thought it was in Romeo and Juliet. Am I crazy
Oh,
here? Um,
Tybalt, the fiery Tybalt.
Tybalt.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, yes. So I equate the Tibero to like Tybalt, and this I feel like bonnet heads are very just
Oh,
Tybalt-esque,
I love that.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, these are definitely one of my absolute favorite species. Where it's just like they're cute but distinct. They have
Hmm.
like this very tall dorsal fin, beautiful one of a kind head. As far as like, there's no other hammerhead that has anything close to the bonnet head's like shovel shape.
Hmm.
Um, and it's like I love that it's like bizarre, but it works. It's just like it's like this beautiful, fully formed it's this wonderful work of art of a shark. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And they like salad.
And they like salad, so very eco-friendly. Seagrass ingesting species that also gives virgin birth. So happy holidays! It's
Yes. Oh, true. Fitting.
parthenogenesis. Wasn't there another shark species that was documented to have parthenogenesis. Is that epaulet sharks that was documented, or am I going crazy?
No, I thought it was like I thought it was a carcharodonid.
Mm.
Um, I thought it was like a reef shark
Mm-hmm.
in an aquarium at least, because it's only been documented in captivity, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Um, I guess it'd be hard to track outside of that.
Yep.
Um,
Shoot. I think one of the viewers made that comment, like that there was another species
remember.
that had parthenogenesis. So I
Hmm.
have to look that up. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have one or two more after this, so we're the home stretch.
Okay. We're almost there.
Yeah.
It's been a good run.
It has. I'm also. It's 11:30, so this is actually the longest stream, I believe. So, which I
Is
I
it?
kind of love.
I know we went really long the, the first one.
Oh, I think this is
Whoa.
the winghead shark.
I was wondering if we were gonna talk about the winghead tonight, and I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, what an extreme Eusphyra. What a I think this is the last piece actually, but like what a wonderful like extreme note to end on in terms of like yeah. And I believe the adaptation for the ridiculously narrow head is maximizing turn, like its ability to
Mm-hmm.
turn. Hmm.
Yeah, they can whip around fast.
And there's also something to do with like because they actually like estuaries quite a lot. They do
Hmm.
spend a lot of time in like turbid water, and I think there's something I forget specifically, but there was something to like the head shape has something to do with that as far as oh man.
Would that be just like benthic fauna around, or are you trying to say like more of the like navigating the estuary itself?
Navigating the estuary itself. Like there's something
I
about
see.
yeah, there's something about
Hmm.
its ability to do sharp turns and like I forget specifically what it is though. And
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, thoughts on this piece? Thoughts on this art?
This piece, it's also really filled with action, which I love. I think the bait ball is a great, um, you know, it's just like the cloud and having swam through bait balls, like that's what they feel like. Like it's just fish and it's dense. And Howard does a really good job of having the fish move together
Mm-hmm.
because fish, when they're in a bait ball, they're using their lateral lines to like move with each other. Like, what is it? Finding Nemo. Like they do a great job of, showing the fish as one unit. Um, of course, it's dramatized, but
Yeah, I
um,
didn't know.
it's
Oh,
really cool.
I didn't know that. Like it makes total sense, but I did not know that they like they're for lack of a better word, interconnected via the lateral lines. Like
Hmm.
each one kind of feeling the other. Like that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a domino effect kind of thing. And that's why you see like it's like a, you know,
That's so
it's cool.
very cool.
They're so cool. And I have you dove with like bait balls at all?
I've been through small ones, but not
Yeah.
huge. Nothing like this. So yeah.
The coolest, eeriest one was we got like completely surrounded to the point where like I remember I checked my depth gauge because it got darker and I was like we got deeper, but we just got covered in fish. Um and but it's just so fun to like, you move your hand and then it just opens up. Oh no. Oh,
I think
I guess that's
I think that is it. Wow.
that was wonderful. That was
Yay.
so cool. Wow.
Ma'am. Well, Jess, thank you so much for joining. It's 11:30, so I'm pretty sure this is the biggest one, but it's a fitting way to end the year. So, yeah, any last thoughts or like,
Oh, well, I mean, we covered so much, and then I still feel like there's so much unsaid that we could have gone on for even longer,
mhm.
because that's just the nature of our
Yep.
conversations. But I am honored to have been put on again, coming back and enjoying, not just sharks, but like the art around them, because I love both of those things so much.
Hmm.
So it's really fun to just get to nerd out. with some friends and have a good night. Be grateful on the year and, see everything that you've accomplished and just have a good time. So thank you so much for having me. It was great, talking to y'all on the stream. And yeah,
Yeah, and thank you so much for being here. We got a lot of great comments. You rock, Jess. Thanks, Jess. Like, yeah,
thank you.
yeah. So, thank you so much for being here again. It's always a pleasure just like to talk sharks with you and to like review. Like, I mean, this is such a unique niche, like the shark and the art. So it's just like it's so cool to do that. So thank you, and thank you guys like for watching, for supporting the stream this year. It's been an action-packed year with a lot of cool species. And we'll be back for 2024. We'll take a brief hiatus until January 15th. So in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy the holidays and spend time with family, get some good food, and we'll be back. Think of new sharks for the new year. So, but thank you so much again. Yeah. Thank you, Jess. I hope you have a great night and a
Awesome.
great rest of your week.
You as well. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Cheers, guys. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Happy 2023.
Yes.
Bye, guys.